destined to rise all the same. But now it's here. Come on with it. They really say ain't no party like a cowboy party, but what about a Law Nation's groove? From my studios to yours, as they say, the live will travel all around the world before the truth can get out of the bed. But your presence will always be felt. Come on with it. Yup. Come on with it. No party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation's groove? As they say, pull a string and I wink at you. I'm your puppet. I'm your puppet, baby. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can tell the realest. You can tell a real one. I'm real. The way I walk, the way I talk, the way I move. I'm real. Let's go, baby. For glory. 5, 4, 3, 2, and come on with it. All right, man. One love, man. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. I thank the community for being with the nation. I thank everybody who's geared up, ready for the draft in 2 days. I really appreciate those who rock it with your boy. Put LAW in the chat if you're rocking. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. All right. So yesterday, we were hearing news of the Cowboys' intrigue with offensive line, right? And some offensive linemen are, needed in these particular straits. We need offensive linemen, right? But at the end of the day, we also, look at all them laws over there, boy. I tell you, boy. Come on, baby. Boy, I'll worry for a second, right? You know what I said?
Spartans, prepare for glory.
Oh, man, I thought y'all was going to be like two guys talking about business that didn't happen on the YouTube, I thought that y'all was two guys that was talking, like ladies. But I see that y'all not two guys, Boy, I'm telling y'all some real ones. I don't know about the other guys over there. They need some testosterone. And come on with it, boy. I thought we were talking football. Yes, indeed. We talking football. Boy, look at all them laws up in here. Audio is low law. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let me know if my audio is better now. Let me know. Give me an audio check. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. Oh, my God. AI. Oh, my God.
Angie Rebel Chicks, $199.99. Law, I want to kick this off giving you all the flowers. Every stream you drop, it's not good, it's great content.
Appreciate
you
that.
may joke around and laugh with us, but you know your shit. You even allow me a...
Oh, what happened? Wait. AI. She got tired of talking. Hold on. Let me do something with this. Hold on. AI. What's going on? You got to say it all. I want all of my flowers. Shoot. Shit. Hey. And I want all of my flowers. Give me them flowers right here. God, dog from the top rope. Wait a minute. I want all the flowers. Give me my flowers. Give me the flowers, the roses, the tulips. Who said tulips ain't great? Give me tulips, Put some flowers in the chat, baby. And this show is brought to you by NJ, the Rebel Chick. Come on with it. Hold on. Girl, I need the AI to wake up. AI! Below the heavens. Oh my goodness, man. That name shouldn't be said around here. You know, I thought I played Nintendo and Wario, but God dog.
Shame. Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, shame. But I appreciate you below the heavens. The audio is straight. It's not too high, not too low, right? Here's my thoughts with everything, because I know y'all want to talk about that. And I'm trying to get over here to talking some real football with my guy Defy Talk, you know, because the rumor yesterday was basically about the offensive line, the Simmons, the Tylers, and now it's about face. Now everything done changed around, and now we gonna be talking the Messiah, the mobile.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
Yo, oh my gosh, man. You know, I see y'all taking this show, man. See, all it's supposed to be about is fun and laughter. I want you guys to have a great time with me, not a bad time, you know. And I thank those who stood tall with me on all of this stuff, because at the end of the day, Law Nation, I'm not a gatekeeper. I helped so many people out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Law, you and Ray Clint need to talk and vent like, man, that's what I already did. Matter of fact, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to have disagreements, right? You're going to have confusions. But when you're operating in a different level, those who don't understand that will never understand it. Given that I'm not talking as if though I'm cocky. What I'm talking as if, you know, the whole thing was set up for them to not even move a single thing. It was all on me. Yeah, it was all on me. But, you know, just listening in to a bunch of grown men crying about something that basically they shouldn't be crying about or giving details on is crazy to me. And at the end of the day, it's one of those things. Let me tune in. Let me just tune in to see what they talking about one more time. You know, just one more time. Let me just tune in to see what they yapping about, because it's crazy, man. We grown men, you know. Oh, we grown men. But let me tune in to see what they talking about. Hold on. Hey, Ray, get them balls out your mouth, man. Oh, my goodness. Oh, oops, did I say that out loud? Oh, my God. Now, normally I don't go this way, but I'm going to go this way, because normally I don't go this way, but I'm going to go this way, because at the end of the day, my name is my name. And it's very disrespectful for anybody to say these type of things when I'm the very much so one. When they're around me, they didn't have to reach into their wallets. They didn't have to reach into nothing. But since y'all want to make it that way, since y'all want to put it that way, you know, at the end of the day, no matter what anybody say, yeah. Hold on. What you crying about? Hush. A grown man talking here. Let me entertain y'all a little bit on this. You know, can somebody let me know who this is in the picture, dare I say, you know? Because at the end of the day, don't y'all know that just based off of this alone, these headsets, can somebody look up Audio Technica headsets? Them headsets are $300 a piece. The camera itself that I use to shoot this podcast that's live at this remote session is well north of 5 bands, right? On top of that, I don't have to explain anything, but I'm just telling y'all what's going on. The table is a hundo. The equipment far as the monitor is over $300. The soundboard that y'all listening to when I play this is a whole stack. $1,000. $1,000 of my money, right? And I set this up brick by brick. And this is what I get. This is how y'all gonna treat me. And y'all think that Ray put in on this? And this dude right here, this dude, AOC, if you think about it, who headsets these things are, and who headsets he using? Yeah, if we want to get to the money and the nit of everything, Law Nation is putting money on everything. All they had to do is just show up at the end of the day. On top of that, I really don't have to explain this, but I'm showing y'all. And, excuse me, platform, who put who where? Who invited this guy to the cookout? Oh, Law, who embraced this dude? Who did this? Who put him there? Who put him there? That's my guy TP. But who started this? Come on with it. Let's not get twisted over here. He didn't have to pay a dime. He didn't have to reach in his pocket. So what platform are you talking about, right? So at the end of the day, none of these boys put in anything, right? They just had to show up. You just had to show up. So when people start talking about this and that, who is making the most? Me. I got everything to lose and nothing to gain. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to dox anybody, but my name is my name. And just like anything, I got to protect my name, right? Rodriguez, yeah. Take the money out. All of it, yeah.
Take the money out.
Jose Rodriguez $19.99. It takes dollar to make dollar. Here ya go. Law. Shout out Law Nation. DC4L.
Yeah. So we ain't talking about the Guardians of the Galaxies, but what we're talking about is LAW put AOC before he was AOC, right? This was DAC attack. I guess the name to change everything else around, But at the end of the day, that's my platform, my equipment. TP came off of my strength. A lot of these people came off of my strength, and what a difference a year make. Now all of a sudden, y'all trying to grandstand Law Nation. Come on with it. At the end of the day, he's happy. And that's what I want for everybody. I want to make the face of everybody to be happy, right? Happy, joy. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around this beautiful globe, I put him on. He didn't know who Ray is, right? At the end of the day, not to say I'm doxing anybody, you know what I'm saying? But when the owner himself says that he do not want him there because how he spoke at the meeting, especially towards the ladies. And we're going to address the ladies situation because I've always been a ladies man, by the way, But at the end of the day, I can't help who like me, But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this is my last time addressing everything. Ask those two queens over there, who paid who? Ask them two queens who paid who. Because even when everything went to the bottom, right? I literally stated this right here, and this is a text message that they probably didn't show. Hey, Ray and AOC, I think it's safe to say, because this is after I talked to the owner, it's a wrap, fam. I truly appreciate your support with the flyers and all of the hard work that you put in. Send me your Cash App. I'm going to send you something your way. AOC, I really respect your grind and your grit. Keep being the best at everything you do. If I overstepped, because I did say I'm law motherfucking nation, right? I did say that at the meeting after the owner was gone to them, because at the end of the day, you can't challenge and question what I bring to the table, but neither here nor there. I apologize. Never to say I'm sorry, because I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things just aren't meant to be. Let's focus on our individual brands now, and who knows, maybe one day we will look back on this and have good laughs over drinks. Let's go DC for life. And then Ray, he states, understandable. I appreciate, here's my Cash App. He put his Cash App down, and then he said it would be easier to Zelle it. And guess what? I paid it, him and AOC. And that's the bottom line for whatever else that need to be talked about. Now, they drugged this. That was 9 days ago, right? 8 or 9 days ago, right? Now, for anybody who's born today or last year or in the future, I want to give you guys this information. At the end of the day, if God created the entire universe or the multiverse in 7 days, you mean to tell me we can't put efforts to put on an event that you two numbskulls don't have to reach into your pocket at all? And y'all worrying about licenses and stuff like that? I'm Law Nation. Arlington, you might as well say Arlington Law Nation. You know what I'm saying? No cops is going to come down there and say, what about this and that? Because the venue itself hosts events every freaking day. It's not like the owner, this is his very first event. So when you start to talk about licenses and what's this and that, the deal was already done by my PR. The building was scot-free. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we ain't going to talk about anything else, but the truth is, the moment was probably too big for them, you know, and they need to check in on that. But neither here nor there. Appreciate all of y'all support, your love. The real, it will be happening at the top of the hour. You know, I like Law, but as family, he's old enough to be my grandfather. Yes, the owner needs to protect his brand too, and I get it, you know. And this is a straight up message from the owner. He just didn't want to work with AOC. I can't force another man to work with another man, right? And that's why I gave them, I said, I think it's a wrap. I appreciate your hard work for the Flyers, Ray. I appreciate your time, AOC. And I both gave them Cash Apps that I shouldn't even gave. Them heroes on me. Them naysayers on me. Come on with it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Come on with it. Shoot.
Hallelujah, $201. Law, I had to Price is Right Angie Rebel Chicks because I play games like that. Rolling on the floor laughing, salute to whoever gifted me a 1-month membership yesterday. I appreciate you. Like I always say, it's Law Nation for life.
Come on with it, man. I appreciate y'all blessing the stream. And I really appreciate y'all for y'all understanding the hard work and the dedication for the nation. It is very much so valuable to all, even when AOC didn't have the proper mic. Guess who said, hey, it'll be better if you get one of these, right? It'd be better if you put your backdrop up so everything can look clean and precise. Boy. But it is for what it is, man. What's understood shouldn't have to be explained. But keep exposing, and you expose yourself, right? I appreciate you so much, man, Holly, for your support. This is really generous. You and Angie for y'all support, man. Oh, my goodness, man. Come on with it.
Spartans, what is your profession?
Let me tune in one more time. Hold on. I got to tune in one more time to what they crying about. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I got to tune in one more time. Oh, my goodness.
Angie Rebel Chicks $19.99. Hallelujah, stay out my pocketbook.
Yeah. Fight.
Take the money out, all of it. Come on.
Don't spoil me with a good time. Shoot. Super Chat Wars is here, you know. Oh, let me tune in one more time. I forgot to tune in one more time to him. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, man. Hey. All right, but neither here nor there. All I can say is the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, yeah. Nick and Sam. Look, Nick and Sam's. Log gonna pull out a whole. I want a steak so tender and soft I can pull out a butter knife. Yeah. No, but everything gonna go back to setting up for Oxnard because that's the next big trip, and I want to be able to get out to Oxnard and get things going. Holly was like, man, she won.
They can come closer than close, yeah. Original, they never will be.
All right, so back to football, and we're going to turn off the... Hush! Get some testosterone, man. Come on, hush that up over there. Shoot. Jeez. God, no, let's talk like man over here. All right, so the news of the hour is it would be surprising if the Cowboys selected anything but a wide receiver and cornerback in the first round. This year with Charles Robinson, who is one of the greater scouts out here and does great analyst work, he is saying that it will be more than likely to choose between Ohio State or the Ohio State, Emeka Ibuka, or Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden at the 12th overall spot if Ted McMillan is already gone. So I want to know from y'all thoughts of this particular situation is that do you guys see, and I mean just that with everything in my heart, do you guys see the Cowboys going with this kid? Or do you see them going with Ohio State? Because my thoughts of this is, and I put the crown over Ohio State, is who have a better track record, program-wise, of wide receivers. Could we go that low? My guy Toxic Ton said, F Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, do you go with somebody that you know for sure program been testing out? Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, who else from Ohio State? The junior kid, I believe Marvin Harris Jr. Name me another Ohio State. Terry Glenn. Oh, my bad. That's too far back. Chris Carter. That's way too far back, Law. I'm telling my age. Name me all of the nice Ohio State wide receivers. And do you trust the business of just the program itself? Or do you really think, because I thought for sure that Ohio State, LSU, to a degree, Alabama, those are your wide receivers university. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you trust the new broom? Because they say, write this down, new broom can sweep the floor good, but that old broom can get those corners, right? Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Terry McLaurin. That's a strong argument. That's a strong argument for Ohio State now. You know what? I fought myself into this. I think Jalen Hyatt, he was from Tennessee, right? Ibuka would be the great first-round pick for us. All right, so here's what I like about Ibuka. When we looking at it from a Joey Galloway went to Ohio State. I didn't even know. Emeka is the old broom. The new broom would be, okay, I like that analysis right there, analogy. will be Golden. Okay. Yeah, how he did went to Tennessee. Him, kid that got drafted to the Browns, what have you, Tennessee, they okay with wide receivers. But I do like that Dante Thornton, though. That kid, Kenny Block. Emeka Ibuka, he's out of this draft, you can literally make an argument that he probably be your most well-rounded wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? If we can make it that argument, right? And when you look up everything, I just wish, I didn't have haters on the other side that I can show y'all footages and film. But I'm on a situation where even if I show a snippet of a footage, NFL coming after me, So he's 6'1", 202, and he is a guy that I know for sure. If you look at him, they comped him to Jackson Smith and Jigba, right? They comped him to that. Fluid, athletic, with good size and quality ball skills, who works primarily from the slot. But if you look at some of his tape, you can also see the skill set that he brings, because you can line him offside sometimes. and I think that he's a sure hands former, look, all my baseball guys, former outfielder with excellent track and abilities to catch radius, So he got a window, a balcony. Throw it that way, he go get it. Good feeling and manipulating, right, in coverage and space. So if you know you finna run a bang 8, you got to get down in there, right? You got to sell that you selling the highs of the tree, right? And you got to sell some things, right? Hits his turns and stems with a good timing and tempo. And what we are talking about is that when you get it out of your gaze, right, out of your stance, if he come to Jackson Smith and Jigba, right, and I got Matthew Golden comp to Chris Olave, I think we can go either way, right? When you look at all of what they can do, I think that Ibuka will fit right on well with us. I think that, oh my goodness. Holly, out of the grandma's couch. Come on with it. Come on.
Hallelujah, $49.99. Found a couple more dollars under the mattress law, rolling on the floor, laughing eyes.
Now you fool around and reaching into grandma's couch and you pulling out some ones. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Come on with it, man, boy. It's a party, baby. Under the mattress money, Yeah. Real run it up. This is brought to you by Hallelujah. Flex. Come on. Might crash, but appreciate you running it up, bro. You had to play a song off of that one, man. I really do appreciate you. Speed appears to be average, but his drive phase of his route, meaning that he don't have an explosive release off of his route. There's Ibuka, right? Let me pull up Matthew, and we're going to be living our life like it's golden based off of all of these super chats. I really appreciate y'all. Love y'all to the moon and back. I really appreciate those who appreciate me. And now, man, we got 401k Angie. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Angie Rebel Chicks, $49.99. Strippers take direct deposits too.
Nobody
Come on with it.
does it better.
What else they can do?
They can come closer than close. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Original, they never will be.
That brother said never will be. You know, it's funny we're seeing the fingerprints of law. You know what I'm saying? When other people start up their live stream and somebody send in a super chat and the AI get to speaking. Oh, you said you don't need me. Oh, okay, all right. Hey, hush over all that crying over there. Take the money out. Yeah. Okay, all right, man. All right. All right, so at the end of the day, boy, all that crying going on. Who two queens are crying, boy? Well, God, dog. Hey, I'm going to be a bartender this party. Hey, these queens, boy. She's your queen to be. Boy, y'all better watch out, man. Watch out for them queens. All right, so he's 5'11", 191. And if you can look down at his tape, it's phenomenal. I do like what he brings to the table. Now, he's come for a first round. They got him as Chris Olave. Shout out to Chris Olave. I really like Chris Olave coming out of college. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, so with that being said, she finna break the stream. You ain't lying. Jeez. Golden works on all three levels of the field with similar consistency and productivity. His route running needs refinement. I thought he was a good route runner, but he does a decent job on altering tempo, meaning stop, go, right? Go, stop. Yes, indeed. Oh, my gosh, man, y'all crazy. Golden have speed and route precision, right? All right, so this was written before the combine, of course, and I do like the work that's happening before the combine meets the moment with big plays and big games. I do like that adequate linear speed and works on pass corner and on vertical routes. Yeah, I do like that. Agile feet allows quick to gather and cut in and out of his routes. Now, with that being said, man, why y'all got me laughing over here, man? God, dog. My last $2 I'm not going to lose. Yes, it is. All he needs to do is watch CD Lab and crazy work will get fixed. Yeah, all right, so both guys. Let's get back to this topic matter right here with both guys. After looking at the analysis of Lance Zierlein, you know, I believe that's how you say that man's last name, who does a great job. I always say trust but verify. Look at the tape that you can't see for yourself. Write this down. None of the guys that's here are finished products. Write this down. None of the guys here are finished products, meaning that these guys still have to polish up on their skill sets when they get to the National Football League. Now, either of these guys, I would tell you guys, now, no shade upon, because I always got to put a little cover. God, dog, I'm with certain people, right? You know, and that's not me cocky talking, right? But I truly believe that both of these wide receivers will be better than a Jalen Brooks. I truly believe both of these wide receivers will be better than a Jalen Brooks. Let me turn into Dr. Umar. Both of these wide receivers will be better than Jalen Brooks. Okay? All right, so moving a little bit further, I truly believe that both of these guys will be better. And say it with me, Mingo. You know, I think that they will be better than Mingo. But Mingo got his ground to fight. That's the one thing that I will say without a shadow of a doubt. I'm seeing the video going viral of him working on his releases, and that's a good thing. And I think that he is a decent route runner for his size, right? Also, Angie is the GOAT. Yeah. She's the GOAT over there, you know. We need more content, brother. I feel you, Kelly. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping in and hopping in. So, I truly believe that Jalen Tolbert will not be better than these two, right? So that's why I look at this like this is a win-win situation. Now, are we in the area of saying to ourselves, ultimately, Is this a need or a want? That's what I want, baby. That's what I want to know. Is this a need or a want? Break this down for those that's in the chat. Law, she said she was going to let me win. Hey, man, y'all fight that out.
Take the money out, all of it. Come on.
Oh, my gosh, man. Is it a need or a want, baby? That's all I want to know, y'all. Is it a need or a want, wide receiver? Is it a need or a want? Come on with it. And while I'm doing that, what we have new here, who's been entered into the building, is it's a need. Okay, I love y'all, man. I love y'all for thinking on that level. Yeah, break the pool stick. Oh, I love it. You know, that boy said we only have one position left. All right, so he's from the Show Me State. His name is Luther, not Vandross, but Burden, and he won't be that for your team. He's 6 foot, 206. When I look at his tape, I see a more masculine Odell Beckham. He's not the feminine side. Oops, did I say that out loud? My bad. Y'all don't get me. But let me see. They got Garrett Wilson, another Ohio State guy, right? And they projected him to be in the second round. But there are some triggers here of stating that Charles Robinson says it will be a stunner to the Cowboys select Missouri wide receiver Luther Burden, 12th overall. Adam Burden is a second-round guy on vast majority of other teams. Full quote. If the Cowboys pull a surprise and take Missouri Luther Burden III, it would be a stunner. The vast majority of teams have Burden solidified at I can't read today. I blame y'all. I blame y'all. I'm just going to blame everybody. They consider him a second-round wide receiver. Now, granted, where do you all feel as if though, oh, my bad, OBJ don't got no sugar, you know. No, OBJ, don't come after me, OBJs, the OBJians. I don't want people to come after me, man, you know. But neither here nor there. Toxic Tom says, I do not want. Oh, my goodness, 401k, Holly. Oh,
Hallelujah, $100. Law, seriously, today is payment for all the years of great content that you have provided to me and the rest of Cowboys Nation.
Shoot.
And they understand the cost that is involved.
They understand it.
There's 1,000 of you. I said
Close them doors.
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
Close the doors.
We all gonna leave together.
We all gonna leave together, baby. Good Lordy, baby. Yeah. Shit. Oh my goodness. Man, they gonna have me in the skybox with Jerry. Y'all keep supporting me like this, I'll be in the skybox with Jerry Jones. I'm talking about, hey, pass me the McGriddle. Put that little Himalaya salt on mine, though. Yeah, pink salt. Yeah. You don't got it? Well, the Celtics saw that at least, you know. Come on, Jerry. Yeah, Jerry, I'm going to be up there with you, man. Me, you, and Jamie Foxx. Jerry going to be like, well, Law is 5'11", 205. Unit size, but I ain't gonna say it. Yes, indeed. Josh Blaze says, if we get let me read this right. Josh Blaze, and I really appreciate you. He says, if we get Tet in the third, go. What do this means, Josh? I appreciate you, man. Let me see if I can. Law, if we get Tet in third, go get Brees for our 2nd and 5 or possible 3rd. If we can trade back in the 1st, do it for Sutton and get Hampton. Trey Harris used to be a number 2 for the cornerback. Man, my hooked on phonics, the way my eyes are working, Josh, JB, and I really appreciate your support. But can I get a translator? You know, I need a translator, man. I need a translator. You know, yeah. Get Ted in the 1st. Okay, Josh, you said get Ted in the 1st round. Okay, I'm following you. Okay, all right. And okay, get Ted in the 1st round. Get rid of your 3rd round draft pick or possible 2 in the 5th for Brees, right? If we can trade back in the 1st, do it, and that's a whole nother conversation, right? So if we trade, all right, so if the Ted thing don't go, then you trade back in the 1st, right, for Sutton and get Hampton or Trey Henderson. Use the number 2 draft pick for a cornerback. Okay, so now I'm getting it. Okay, all right. Yeah. Shoot. All right, so somebody says, Montreal says, you know, shoot, hooked on chronics. I'm a hooked on phonics graduate. You know, I graduated top of my class. There were 3 people in there. Since they calling me amateur law, and I don't know anything. I don't know how to conduct businesses. So I'm amateur. I'm a hooked on phonic guy. You know, law. I'm limited with characters. Pimp. Did the best I could. Nah, Josh, you did a great job, man. Shoot, that $4.99 for your mind. Shoot, come on with it. I needed that. I can break it down like this, and I get what you said. With Tet, if Tet is not there, if we can get Tet, that's cool. But if Tet is not there, basically what you're saying is it's basically move back in the 1st, right? And see what we can go with that, okay? That's basically what you said, all right? So if I go here, and let's go 5 rounds, okay? And then I'm going to go with the ideology of the speed, not turbo. Let's make it at least fast so I can see what's going on. And let's see if we can enter this draft. And I got to, hold on, bear with me, baby. All right, boom. We're going to start the draft. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, so I want to go, Walter Nolan is there. Full draft. Okay, so let's see what happened. All right, so Cam gone, Travis Hunter gone, Ted gone to the Giants. Ted has gone to the Giants. That's wild. You know, Will Campbell, Mason Graham, Ashton Genty is gone to the Raiders. F the Raiders at this point. Abdul Carter, Michael Williams, in Armand. He's gone to the Saints. Who that? Colston gone. That's wild. Michigan tight end. Kevin Banks is gone to the 49ers. And now we are on the clock, okay? And the available players that we have to draft, let me see if I can pull this up. Come on, bear with me while I work this over here. All right, so we go back. Nope, don't want to go cancel it. All right, so where I'm at, here we go, boom. Bear with me, man. I told you my hooked on funny guys. All right, so we got Walter Nolan. Oh, man, that would be a godsend for me, you know, if we get Walter Nolan because of the Mississippi ties. We got Malachi Starks, Mike Green, Jade Barron, and according to my Hook'em Longhorns family, they say that Jade is the next Ed Reed. You got Tyler Warren, you got Jahad Campbell, and you got Will Johnson, and you got Luther. All right, so based off of this, according to the Dallas Cowboys' overall needs, they need a running back, wide receiver, guard, and edge rusher. They need to put DT in there, right? So if I go with the best available left wide receiver, the Pro Football Focus, Nolan is a beast. I'm awake. I feel you. The Pro Football Focus. Oh, my goodness, boy. Hey, I love the fight, boy. Come on, don't spoil me with a good time. Shoot.
Emotional damage.
In a good way, shoot.
Angie Rebel Chicks $19.99. I crown Hallelujah as winner. He taking money out the Wolf Kitty Fund to bless Law. I
Yeah.
refuse to be selfish.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
Yo. Oh, yeah. I'm telling y'all, drafting with that particular pick, with the 12th pick, is a blessing. All right, so here are the top 4 wide receivers: Luther, Emeka, Matthew, and Elik. Those are according to Pro Football Focuses, you know. And we got 4 pending trades, and I'm not finna do this. I'm not finna get into the trade thing, you know. But those are your 4 availables. Let's take it back and look at our running backs. Omarion Hampton, Scatterboo. Dylan Sampson, Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson, and Quinshawn Junkins, and R.J. Harvey, and Damian Martinez. Here's my thoughts on this list right here. If I was to poll, and shout out to the GoFundMe Wolf Kitty Fund, that's crazy, man. Man, look, I blame Atlas and I blame Mando for all of this nuances of craziness that we have as it relates to the Cowboys chat over here talking about that, you know. Oh, also, let me know when the press conference is there. Let me know when the press conference is up and live, and we'll be able to do that. That damn Shannon Sharp is another situation with a lady, you know. He didn't pay them dues. Shoot, he got beyond himself. Them britches got too big for him, or too small, as they say. Omarion Hampton, Cam Scatterboo, Sampson. If I were to ask you guys before I showed you this list me your top 5 running backs. Let me see. What's your top 5 running back? If y'all can go that way. What's your top 5 running back? Oh yeah, that Ace Boogie, that Kanye West story is very wild. You know, now some stuff you got to go to the grave with, you know, but Kanye West story, I mean, that's something that you just talk to the creator about, and then you shank him. You just shank the person with the butter knife, you know, or you just take the whole knife out on the Kanye West story, alleged story. I'm not finna get in the mess of that, you know. Yeah, Shannon Sharp got like 2 or 3 more minutes before he get the axe. Yeah, it's Mando fault. Including outside of Genty. Take Genty off the board, right? What are your top 5 running backs? Hampton, Henderson, Junkins, Tut. Okay? That's too broke to pay attention. The running back, Tut, from Virginia is very nice. Hello, Law. Rub some Mandu all over your body for good luck. Hey. Mando, you hear them? They calling your name. We need for you to be the presenting sponsor of this draft party, brought to you by Law Nation Sports, you know, and all of the other people that have been crying over here. Yeah. So if that the case in a scenario, let me let y'all know that we are not going to have a good time at all at this draft party. We're going to have a great time at this draft party. Be sure to join us and the nobodies that's going to be here at the draft party. We're going to name it the nobodies, the unknowns. We don't want people on the platform draft party. And it's going to be presented by Law Nation Thursday, April the 24th. Doors will open at 6 p.m. Yes. So if you can get there, don't meet me there, beat me there type of conversation. 2405 South Collins Street, Arlington, Texas. Come on with it. All right, let me put this out here. Let me share all of this for you guys and put it in the chat. Yes, indeed. And it will be no cover charge. You just come on in, and all I want you to do is enjoy yourself, you know. Law, will you be prize picking this season? Hey, prize picks. You up there, they done said your name. They done said your name, prize picks, so you already know when they done said your name.
Take the money out, all of it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wasting my time now. Come on.
Yes, ETN will be nice. Are you talking about the brother that's already in the league or the brother that's going to have to get drafted, right? All right, so 6 rushing touchdowns in 2024. That's terrible. Yeah. Appreciate everybody for jumping in and being part of this. Andrew, don't do them like that. Don't be nice, Andrew. You know, yeah. Who's Angie? Who's Holly? Must be attention. No, they supporters, man.
Take the money out.
Don't do that.
Come on.
Yeah, don't do them like that.
And they understand the cost
They understand the cost
that is involved.
involved.
There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors.
Close them doors, Andrew.
Close the doors.
Don't let Andrew up out of here. Andrew! Jeez. All right, so back to business over here. Where were we? We were on the drafting of the pick here with the first pick. Although my heart telling me I want a Marion, right? And I know what he'll be able to bring. But I'm going to go with Ohio State, man.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Wrong button, but it still fits, right? It still fits. Come on. Where my button at? I promise y'all, man. I know, man. I know. Y'all mad at me. Don't be mad at me. It's just, if you're not having fun doing this, if you're not having a great time doing this, then come on, man. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Okay? We got to have fun. And that's what I like to do. All right, so we got the wide receiver. Let's see where we at with the running back game. And I know I'm vanilla bland when I don't do a lot of trades or what have you in this draft. I like Scatterboo, but there's no way in my heart that I can allow myself to go draft Scatterboo in the second round. I like Scatterboo. I'm not putting anything against him, you know. I like Scatterboo. Yeah. Scatterboo, a Cavapoo, or a Sabu. Lakers at 5. Come on with it. Oh, my gosh, man. Let's go. And I like Dylan, but I don't like him at the second. Caleb Johnson. I have a strange feeling that Caleb Johnson is going to be a crazy. Look, everybody doubting his speed, but you turn on the tape, the dude is like a bowling ball over there, you know, just running folks over, looking for somebody to punish. I do like his skill sets. Quinshawn Judkins, I like him. R.J. Harvey, I like him. Damian Martinez. I just don't see where I can go wrong with a running back right here. But I think that since this running back class is such a deep one, I'm going to make the necessary thing to make everybody mad just a little bit, and I'm going with interior. I got my offensive toy. I'm finna help out Matt Eberflus right now.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. I'm going to make the sacrifice, and I'm looking for an interior defensive lineman. I like Omar. I like him. But, man, JC Cowboy Network, appreciate you. These are goals, Law. Keep up the great work. He didn't say good work. He said great work. Come
Take
on
the
with
money out.
Barton!
Come on.
What is your profession?
Law, shoot. And now to some people that could be considered me being cocky, but I'm just telling y'all my name. You know what I'm saying? So you can put the MF in front of it or behind it, you know, wherever you want. But I like Tyleek Williams over Omar. Now, I know for sure that most of you guys will say, man, Cowboys are turning into the Ohio State boys. Granted, Let's go with Williams. It's not the sexy of the sexy pick, but now all of a sudden, and I like Darius Alexander too. Ooh, I love him. He's very versatile. Toledo. But give me the Ohio State. And I know my guy, Toxic Tom, he's mad. Toxic like, damn, dog, how many Ohio State guys you gonna get? With the 44th pick, the Cowboys select Tyleik Williams, you know. All right, come on with it. The Ohio State Cowboys, baby. Y'all ain't gonna like it, but we got a short, let me just break this down right quick. Let me just tell y'all for what we got right now, ladies and gentlemen, and let me know if y'all mad.
What's your point?
No, they don't need to be mad. But, you know, shoot, stop all of that crying and stuff, man. All that doggone crying. Hush! Before I send you to the Queen's chamber, you know, God dog, but sheesh. Hey, you still crying? Hush your mother mouth. Come on, before I get...
Take the money out!
All right, before we go anywhere further, hey, I know, let me break this down and why this is such a beautiful selection for us. We got a polished wide receiver who don't have to be in the spotlight, who's going to take the attention for what it is given to him as an advantage. We do know the creme de la creme is, dare I say, hear me out, is CeeDee Lamb. But with Emeka, I think that on the next level, this brother can be on the X. And if you want to move him around, he's so versatile. Not saying that you'll play him at the Y, because that will be Mingo's spot. But you can move him around, him and Lamb. And I'm quite sure when you look at Shotty's system, I'm crying over here.
Take the money out!
Oh, my gosh. If you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be a guy that can blend right in with this system. He's heads and shoulders better than what we already have. He's a sure hands catcher. He can catch the ball in traffic. Yeah, he will have to work on some of his releases because he do get caught up in a jam. That's why they put him in the Z spot, you know. But with this particular offense, they're going to be doing a lot of motioning. You know, it's going to be not a vertical offense. This is pretty much going to be a horizontal. And you scoot and get upfield. But running is primarily. And yes, we don't have a running back yet. But if you look at this, Tyleik Williams, right? And if I pull this up, let me go pull this up, PFF. Watch Zeke pull up. Let me see if I pull this up. Or they can pull up Zeke. Yeah, Zeke always up there. I'm going to go Dallas Cowboys. So we can see it I'm pulling it up as we talk. Boy, we was terrible last year. Sheesh. We don't want to go back to those days, right? And if I pull up this lineup, right? And I know it's tiny. You might just squint your eyes, and we're going to go to defense. You put Tyleik Williams here, that's an upgrade, baby. And then Mozzie. Stop all that crying, man. You gonna still play? Jeez, we gonna still play you, you know. So we going to have for Mozzie to be a rotational situation. But when you look up Tyleik Williams, you know, what he can bring to the table, I think that's gonna pay off really well for us. Why, Law? Because when you start to think about what we need somebody that can push some things around. 6'3", a true 6'3", a true 334, you know. And they got him tied into Aleem McNeil, right? And I know y'all know Aleem McNeil, played for the Detroit, big body guy that's going to push things around. And this will be the process. Let me just pull this around so y'all can see his they got him projected as a second round. This is good for us. You know, is Mozzie fasting? I don't know. But I love the wordplay with this. Drain clogging run defender. It's not sexy, but I'm just trying to stop the run. I'm trying to stop the run. Stop the run on my way. I pick up a bag of Cheetos, right? On my way, I pick up a bag of honey buns, a box of honey buns. Oh, it's a quarterback snack? Oh, no. On the way, we get to the quarterback. But your first priority is stop the run. Right? Your first priority is stopping the run. I love it, Dre. You see that? Look, Dre. I'm gonna make you a mod, Dre. Make you a mod, Dre. You've been around for a long time, Dre. Welcome, Dre, to the mod squad. Come on with it. And we hold anybody contempt of court toxic. We'll kick y'all up out of here, you know. Contempt. Yeah, obey the law, you know. Clog the drain. We're going to take that word and we're going to make sure we put that on T-shirts. Because Matt Eberflus said, come into this season, he want to have something that he can put on shirts and stuff for his D-line. And I like that. The clog the drain. Come on with it, man. Y'all welcome Trey Matic, man. Yeah, always automatic here, man. Appreciate you for your support, bro. Always been there. All right, so drain clogger, run defender with violent first contact. You know, I mean, come on. Nimble feet, impressive tackle production. Like I said, this is the guy, girthy. Look how they explain this. You know, Angie, you know, close your ears. I don't want you to read this part. Girthy lower body with big, meaty hands. Hey, all I can say is, hey, man, you out of pocket for this one. But that's the explanation of how they explain who he is. Hey, who are you? Girthy lower body with big, meaty hands. Explosive and violent on the initial stage of block take-ons. Come on, man. You know, that's what you want. Punch and release, move, left, leave blockers, falling forward. Got girth, you know. I just don't want her to hear those meaty hands, you know. Blue Chew was a football player. Come on, works laterally with blocks to stay in gaps and solid on stretch plays. That's all I want, man. So like I say, when you are drafting somebody, can't take this no more. I can't take this no more, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. A Zane novel. Yeah, that's his name, right? Lance Zerlane wrote this. Girth, lower body with big meaty hands. All right, let me get off of that, man. Let me go back to here, man. So if you can defend your picks, that's all I'm trying to get at, y'all. And not to be too long-winded with that. All right, so let's go back to the draft. So we drafted him. Okay, so we are on the clock with the 76th pick. Oh, my gosh. Omar went to the Niners. Elite went to the Patriots. Caleb Johnson went to the Chiefs. Wait a minute. What are they doing? They went and got Dylan Sampson and Caleb Johnson? Or they traded him to Tennessee. What did they do? Angie says, meaty hands all over the wolf kitty. I heard makes babies. Whew. Hey, all I can say is let's get back to football. All right, let me get back to this football. Okay, all right. So we got our Demetrius Knight, oh my God, you talking about a hitter. This dude can hit. But we still need our running back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Don't you know how crazy this would be? Hear me out. Martinez will be the one for me. Now, the problem is that I had a chance to talk to a coaching staff, and you can take it however you want it, but they are fond of this other guy, and y'all can say his name, you know what I'm saying? They are very fond of him. I like Ollie Gordon. I like Jarquez Hunter. I like Jadon Blue. But if this board falls the way it goes, Emeka, Talik, Martinez, he reminds you, Mike, of James Conner. Let me see what they got Martinez as, okay? First look, all right? And what I'm getting at, I like him, is an early down NFL back with good size and physical. When you look on the tape, the brother runs physical like his hair on fire, right? Carrying a high force missed tackle average. He will likely serve as a power component in a committee unless he has significantly improved his pass blocking fundamentals, meaning that he got a knock on pass pro. But neither here nor there. This is what they have for his pros versus cons. Y'all let me know when the Cowboys.com is on or what have you with that draft presser thing, you know. And let me know. I can't show any visuals of the DallasCowboys.com footages. I can play audio. I had a knocker on the principal door, as you guys can go back and watch that Tyron Smith presser release. And they talked to me and said, hey, we like what you're doing, but you're doing a little bit too much. You can't use our footages and stuff like that, even if you are on the screen. So, but thank God to them, they just gave me a snap on the wrist and said, down, boy. But he got a massive build with powerful frame, tough to bring down on first contact, right? Strong enough to uphold his pass protection. Like, wait a minute, but that's where he need to work on. Light feet allowing him to move well behind man and gap blocking scheme. We're going to be doing a lot of pull traps, GT counters. Now, the problem is, do you bring in someone that already know your system, or do you bring in somebody that can learn your system? And that's going to be the choice between Martinez and DJ Giddens. DJ Giddens, to me, he can be that surprise in this draft out of a running back because he's so elusive. It looks like he's slow, but he's not. When he ran that 4.40, people were like, oh, wow, that helps his drag stock out. But I would say this. Good long speed for his frame, aided by his track background. All right, so what I'm going to do here, if I'm sticking to my guns, pause if necessary for those who against NRA, which I'm a proud NRA guy, you know what I'm saying over here, you know, I would go with Martinez.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
And I'm done with the running back. So now, what Law is looking for is a linebacker or DB. I would put my DB a little bit ahead of this. You know, let's see where we can go, and let's see how we can get things going. Yeah. yeah. Ohio State, baby. All right, so with that being said, I am awake. Most running backs struggles with pass protecting. Yeah, that's one of the things that when Coach taught it up for us, just get in the way. Coach would say, get in the way, at least get in the way. Sacrifice your body, man, get down into it. I think that blocking blocking is pretty much what they say. What did they say? What's the saying? I know Toxic Tom might know it, or somebody in the chat might know it. How the saying go? 99% skill, 1% mental, or is it 99% mental, 1% skill? Who knows that saying with blocking? Let me see if my football guy's in there, because it's all about your mindset. You know, the skills, shoot, you just gotta want to do it. You know, which one is it? Is mentality 99? Ace Boogie, appreciate you, bro. 99% mentality, 1% skill. Because you can have all of the skill set, but if you ain't shooting through that A gap, look, I kid you guys not. There have been times, and I like Tony Pollard. There have been times where Tony Pollard, if you go back and you watch that 2022 when Dak Prescott broke his thumb, Tony was like, shoot, I ain't finna, shoot, this dude jumping through there. Yeah, 99% mental, 1% skill. So, yeah, appreciate you, Toxic Tom. If you don't have the mindset, look, sitting and putting your nose in that A gap is a grown man's duty. Because 9 times out of 10, if you 205, if you 215, and you getting somebody to shoot through A or B gap, full head of steam, and your quarterback is on his 3-step drop, you got to put your nose down in there. You got to make the sacrifice to block, and not everybody's willing to do that. Not everybody will get into those gaps and say, hey, this is what I can do. So it's 99%, like you said, mentality. 99% of that. All right, let's get back to me stop explaining about the blocking. But we do have a position here. We still need a guard. We still need edge rusher according to Pro Football Focus. But I'm doing my own focus here, and I'm going to CB land. All right? And when I look at what's left after the run of CBs went, we got a guy named Robert Longerbeam. I haven't really looked into him. That man went 5 years of college, man. He couldn't get out of school, couldn't he? That brother stayed forever in school. 5'11", 178. Yeah, no, he need a sandwich. All right, so let's go. Zy Alexander. Let's see. They have him. They don't even give you analysis on him. Is a fundamental sound cover corner based off of limited athleticism. Likely he'll put him in a zone specific. No, I don't want to paint myself into a corner. Boy, can I dial a friend? What y'all got over there, man? Beans and below. Yeah, he do need that joker. Jeez.
Please come home. I got beans and bologna.
That boy need a whole sandwich. All right, so man, Balai Cone, this is where I literally in the weeds at. Who know? Now, I've seen some tape on Jalen Smith, but he's so far down the stretch, they give me an F for that. Which one of these DBs that y'all like? Somebody said Riley, Quincy Riley. There'll be too much of a reach right here. He's listed at 178, but let me see Quincy, not Carter, but Riley. And his states here, 6 foot 190. Okay, 23, finna be 24. Well, he spent 5 years in college. Committed to Middle Tennessee. Out of high school, first 3 seasons before transferring to Louisville, right? He has a 2-year starter, more than 1,500 snaps played in 2023 and 2024. He's a smaller cornerback. Nah, ain't gonna go with him, bro. God dog, boy. At this point, it's time to trade for a while. I don't know none of these boys right here, boy. Let me get up out of this one, Dan. Good Lord. we in trouble. These are my picks so far. I'm good for like the first 3 rounds, but when I get into the weeds here, boy, shoot. All right, so they finna start the draft presser, right? Hold on, let me see where is that. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. Y'all bear with me right here. Bear with me. Hail Mary. Appreciate everybody for jumping in and being part of these type of conversations. And go to Law. Is his hands meaty? Shoot, I don't know, man. Shoot. All right. So when the presser is on, they late. Okay, it gonna be at 11:30. Okay, good. 11:30. Remind y'all, I'm gonna put the notifications on. We got 3 minutes before countdown. Let me make sure the audio is straight. We got a commercial, and they're starting. Can y'all hear audio? All right, so we're going to mute the audio, and we're going to listen in to the presser while we try to work on whether or not hands are meaty or not. Which is crazy. But so far, where do y'all got me at on this grade of the draft, so far? And what I can do here, and I appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. Even those who doubted me, I love y'all still, man. Even those who think, law is this and that, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all too, man. Well, I can't go. Here you go. Let's go to linebackers and see what they got available. That's a person that I know for sure. If he falls all the way here, that's a steal. Barrett Carter from Clemson? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me tell y'all, this dude is very versatile. This dude is very versatile, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm still waiting, y'all. Let me know. He's 6'1". He's 230. He's 22. And Carter has one of the 3 linebackers. Let me see if I can give y'all. Okay, we went to a wrong page here. Okay, hold on. And don't tell me that I'd exit out of my doggone draft page, did I? No, I didn't. Boom. Come on with it. All right, bear with me. No, cancel. Don't leave it. Boom. Let me pull up Carter's. Hold on, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling y'all, Carter is really nice. I looked at his tape about 2 months ago. And Swearinger, he's going to be gone by that time. We in the 5th round, y'all. We in the 5th round. But let me see if, and I wish I could show y'all tape on this, but, how the tape thing. Hold on with me, baby. Boom. I like Carter. Carter! Let's see what they got here. I like this guy's analysis right here. We go into, you got him labeled as Christian Harris, old Alabama. Prototypical 3-down linebacker who adds muscle frame and mass in 2024 without losing playmaking ability. Let me tell y'all something about him. He is so versatile that they utilize this brother at Clemson as a running back in goal line situations. He can catch out of the backfield too. He's super athletic, and he's one of those guys that I think that he got the range, he got the athleticism across the field, has skill sets to stack up and impact plays around and behind him on the LOS. Good stick and move with hands. You hear that, Angie? He can stick and move. Agile with twitch, bursts, and close distance, meaning that he got closing speed. Now, his instincts, far as a negative, his instincts diagnosed success are very just average, meaning that you're supposed to be where your feet at and beat your feet and get to the edge, and you have a little hesitancy here. And some of that showed up on tape. Slow feet into contact instead of running his feet through tackles, meaning that, and I'm going to tell y'all this is a very, very good analysis on slow feet as a linebacker. You got to run your feet. You got to be where your feet at. Drive through. A body in motion stays in motion, right? Yeah, close distance. Yeah, he not close in on distance. Yeah, he's very athletic, y'all. And I'm not saying it because, hey, he's in the 5th round with this, but what I'm getting at is that I would not be mad if the Cowboys.
Oh my goodness! Let's go, man! It is you! Let's go!
Look up his tape. Look up his tape. Just type in his highlights on TikTok or something. You be like, yeah, that boy good. All right, let's see where we at now. We are in the 2nd of the 5th round. Yeah, you got to drive his feet. So, I'm going to go by DBs now. Let's see where we at now. And let me know if the presser starts. Come on. They late. Cowboys.com late. They late. Here's a D. They must got, something going on over there. Breaking news. Michael Parsons signed a contract. Okay. All right. Elijah Huzzy. Quincy Riley is still there, y'all. Let me see what they got with Elijah. Appreciate you. I'm going to flip off of this. How you going to be in a scout analyst and says, hey, he doesn't have long speed to hold up wide receivers? I don't want that. I don't want no Andrew Booth out there. I'll go with Quincy Riley, though. They're going to give me a bad grade on this one, but that's okay. Okay. They gave me a bad grade on Quincy Carter and them. Okay. But y'all see it right here. They gave me an average. Look, this is the safest draft possible. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all for that, for taking this journey and this ride with me on this. Come on with it. But if in the event that you are out and about and you need something to help you out, we got some popular products for you if you're going through a little something. And it's all brought to you by all partners here. And I want to share this with you guys. Come on with it. Come on with it. And be sure to reach out to them. Use promo code LAW. And this is for if you're going through anxieties, if you are talking outside of your neck and you sounded like Queens when you need to be a man, you can hit this, and this will help alleviate your mind. And we have a specialized ice cream paint job, THC flower. And if you need that, just hit that link that I put in the chat or hit the link that's in the description box. Now, I got to tell you, you got to be 21 years or older, and they do ship to all of the states in these United States. So be sure to check them out. And that's All Partners Road Shops, And this, when you are taking any of these things, consult with them. They got a team of experts over there that can really gauge and give you advice. That's all I'm going to say with that. Now, I don't want you guys taking it under your own powers and you thinking that those are Skittles, and you saying, oh, man, this ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you take a whole handful of that stuff, and then we turn on Channel 12, and you outside with a toilet bowl around your neck. I don't want that happening to you and thinking that you can fly on. No, don't do that. Don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. But with that being said, Flame on, Dramatic, appreciate you. Yes, indeed. Grade that draft for me, though. One more time. Y'all give me a draft grade for these individuals. We went with the 2 Ohio State players with the first 2 picks, right? Emeka. We went with Tyleik Williams, right? We went with Damian Martinez, Barrett Carter, Quincy Riley. Now, when y'all look back at the tape and y'all see these boys balling out, just say, hey, man, I ain't trying to be like Ray J, but y'all be like, hey, Lauder hit it first. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Hot butter buns, yes, sir. Come on with it. Let me see where the Cowboys.com is at right now. Come on with it. Let me see, they still. You're late. Jerry! Yeah, Jerry late, and it turned y'all giving me a B plus too. Y'all giving me a B plus.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Y'all give me a B, man. Ain't nobody giving me a yo mans. You gonna do this to me? You gonna give me a C, yo mans? All right, B plus, B's. Okay, you know, yeah. What my A's? Nobody giving me an A. Y'all want it golden, don't you? That 40 time got y'all. That 40 time got you. You know, y'all want you know. Jerry late because he's finishing off his McGriddle. Hey, do the McGriddle come with cheese? If not, put some cheese on mine. You know, yeah. We heard law GPA. Oh my gosh, man. Hey, it is for what it is. Y'all shouldn't be hurting. You know, if anything, you know, it's a situation and scenario that the Cowboys with this particular situation should pick it up. All right, so what we going to do here, since they're a little bit delayed, but not denied, I got to run this right quick, and it's going to hear double because I didn't get a chance to set it up, so bear with me.
Spartans!
Yo, so bear with me. I got to play this one for everyone, and you should see it now. Let's talk about control. And first and foremost, I'm talking about control body odor, and that's anywhere. And all you have to do is shop.mando and get $5 off of your starter pack, and that's over 40% with promo code LAW shopmando.com. Let's go. I use this body wash odor control, full body control with Mando. They have the product here, and they also have deodorant that you apply under the arm for 72 hours of odor control. You want to be in control. And speaking of control, they also have the product that you can apply all over the body, the invisible cream, and it also fights for 72 hours. Look, it's all about being in control. And with Mando, man, they control body odor anywhere. All you have to do is shop.mando, get $5 off your starter pack. That's over 40% with promo code LAW shopmando.com. Let's go and let's stay in control of your odor. I love it.
Let's go, man!
Hey, hush! I got some invisible cream. Hush your mouth. Yeah, put that on there. I got the invisible cream. Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. You put this on, people won't be holding their nose. Come on with it. So be sure to download Mando. The information is in the description box. Go and use promo code, and you get all of those percentages off, and you won't be smelling like a wolf and a puss. You know what I'm saying? You won't be like, hush! It was just a disagreement. Yeah, put the invisible cream on. It'll get rid of all of that stench. Yeah. Hey, I'm having too much fun. But I hate to do this to y'all. I hate to do this. But I rock. He's been rocking for 32 months, man. Appreciate you, man, so much for your support. I like to give a shout out to the people that gave the Cash App, Billups, for the $10 Cash App, man. Appreciate you. Also, Fred, appreciate you for the $5 Cash App. All of it. Jason Bourne, appreciate you for the $20 holla. Appreciate you. You got us. Appreciate you for the $10.
My time now, come on! Spartan! Come on! What is your profession?
And also, last but not least, Pamela. Are you related to Cam Ward? Because that's your last name.
Take the money out! All of it!
Yeah.
Come on!
Come on with it.
Wasting my time now, come on!
Yes. Come on. All right, appreciate y'all support on this. Now, what we're going to do at this stage of it is that we wait on the press conference, right? And they're about 10 to 15 minutes late. And did they start it now? Hold on. It look like they about to start. Nope, they still late. So what we're going to do here, we're going to Holly says, I'm terrified of glory holes. Just don't know what's on the other side. Just be careful with them things, though. But I appreciate your support. We will be right back with the phone lines open until the presser get here after we talk to these individuals for a quick second, because I do know that, yeah, I can tell I'm stalling a little bit. I'm trying to stall a little bit. Yeah. Let me see if I can get this going. Yeah. And if you ever seen somebody driving like this, and you don't know where they going, and they high speed chasing, they racing to a location, right? And you trying to say to yourself, I'm just trying to get out the way, right? And this person runs you over, and you looking for some consequences to be bestowed upon him, you got to call these folks.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first. Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
That's 214 or 817. And all of the threes you can dial. Yeah. Dramatic, it may be a simulator. It may not. Uh-oh. I take you back. I forget they're calling the phone. Hold on. My bad, y'all. Jerry, I see you, baby.
Well, I will start. I bet everybody in here could chime in. But, David, we really just want to share. And this is a significant time for us. And this visit with the media and you is a big time. We just want to share our respect and appreciation for 5 decades of putting up with me, putting up. Thank you, came before. Yes, and I'm sitting up here noodling. David wrote a masterpiece on my noodling. So we're getting that down real good right here. But you've gone from here to there. I'm noodling. But seriously, David, as far as even-handed, a very balanced but accurate look at anything that I've been involved in and the Cowboys have been involved in through my view over the years. Agree with everything you've written? Of course not, at all. But have just always appreciated the effort on your part to balance it out. And they have a place for guys like you, really, in the history of the Cowboys. Blackie Sherrod, Randy Galloway, people like that. Yeah. Knew Blackie back as far as back as when I played at Arkansas. I had met him back that far. And so you're right there with them. If I thought about my time with you, and as it turns out, we have spent a lot of time over the years, but it's been very, very, very special. My coach, Frank Brawls at Arkansas, once was talking to me, and he said, Jones, I've recruited and have 2 genius IQs that have played for me. Jimmy Johnson, and you're sure as hell not one of them. Barry Switzer. Well, Clarence, you sure as hell aren't in the same league. This guy sitting right.
Wow!
David, I don't want to make this any more than it needs to be to recognize how much you have meant to sports, which I've always considered to be a part with you as a brother in that respect, but certainly to the extent it's been impacted the Dallas Cowboys and our great fans, we thank you and regret that you're decided to hang them up. But congratulations on a great career from our percentage.
Can I have a response? And we always start with you.
I don't know if you remember, I was in the your introductory press conference at Valley Ranch on that Saturday evening, a momentous one. I remember it ended in thinking, that guy's a wild ride. I'm going to enjoy this because certainly once PR professionals get ahead of him, he's going to be more polished. He's going to be more, a little less forthcoming, be a little more buttoned up in these press conferences. Thank you for ignoring their advice.
Be careful, I've still got some microphone here. Well, I could have never dreamed when I hope that we can find pictures that would reflect you in there with that group at the time. But what's so crazy is I can remember detail of that better than I can remember yesterday. And it's just amazing how that had evolved. And, of course, wouldn't have had any idea. I remember Stephen and my family and everybody sitting in there at that time. And I had seen Coach Landry earlier in the day. And, of course, without a question, one of the PR at Hill Knowlton, one of the best in the country, biggest troubleshooter ever, had represented Pierre Salinger, some of the great people at all. He was my advisor. Brought him in. And then I had one of the best PR advisors that you could have in this immediate Dallas, Texas area.
Yeah.
And Mr. Bright said, Jerry, you should let me make the change for Coach Landry. You should do that. That's not fair to anybody, and I should do it. And my PR and everybody said, no, he's not going to be here because you're coming. And be a man, step up there and take it on the chin and step up there and go do it. One of the greatest PR disasters that's ever been imagined at that time. Still living with it at that time. But those a lot of things to talk about. Again, is there anybody else in here that was at that press conference with that?
Under the play.
It sure is on the camera's back. Mickey doesn't count. He's been around. But David, again, thank you, and looking forward to the time when we can sit down there and go over some of these old stories, and you can get your real truth from me at that time, okay? But guys, okay.
All right. We'll start out with the first question from David Moore.
David Moore.
Can y'all hear audio good?
In your discussions leading up, you're sitting at 12 here. What does it look like? There's going to be a cluster of 3, 4, 5 players you'll be happy with, and how does that have ramifications as far as your willingness to potentially move back when you're on the clock?
I think I'd like for Will to speak to it. We've yet.
Don't give away the secrets, though.
I'm going to invite you all back here after this to shoot a shot of the board. But seriously, and Will, I like Will. If you don't mind, I'd like to include Will here in terms of generally where you think the board is relative to the players.
I think, every draft is different, so we're going to have a certain number of players that we consider as first-round players. And those guys that will come into contention, whether we move back or not, that will depend on the depth of the draft, how we graded those players and the decision from the decision makers.
The thing that I've noticed the most, we haven't put the board up, really, haven't, but it's going up quick. And trust me, all the bones are there and ready to stick up there. But still, it has impressed me with the depth that there is in some of these positions. And we're not just thinking that because there at that 12 spot. But we had no idea that Michael Parsons would drop down there to us when he did, and so it do happen. And we certainly are not going to knowingly let a great player run through us for strategy or for trades up or down. But it's a big deal. I think it's a bigger deal today, draft players playing immediately. It's more of a challenge on coach, that players are coming in and you're counting on them immediately. And that's part of the game today is a lot of young players out there.
Clarence Hill, DLS Cowboys. Picking up here our nightmares and trading great players. How have you taken in the Luka trade and how that's transpired the last few weeks?
Well, I'm a fan of the Mavericks, big fan of the Mavericks, and consequently a big fan of Luka. The world knows that I've got my hands full thinking about what we think about over here, much less trying to figure out. I look at the Mavericks through a very much entertainment eye. And I know Luka was a personal friend and watched a lot of games with us, and would hope that he would be able to watch some more games with us as we go along, know his family pretty well and his support staff pretty well. So all of that is just one as a fan. Now, Gene was All-State, scored 17 straight free throws in the state championship game. And Gene lives and dies with that basketball. And just cried when Luka left. But I understand that, and I understand, frankly, you say, how could that happen? I've got a little bit, probably better understanding how something like that can happen.
Regarding the draft, what is your goal for the 12th pick? And you said you have put the board up. You know, is it you want an instant impact player? You don't want to target a position. Obviously you want BPA, but do you feel that you can get a guy that can be an instant impact player at 12?
Yes. Period.
And regarding the first round, how many first round picks, or you haven't even got that far? How many first round talents are in this draft?
We haven't gotten to the number yet, but typically every year it's somewhere around, on our board, it's somewhere around 15 to 18. We'll see how that falls out this year.
Yeah.
Todd Archer with ESPN for Stephen, Jerry, and Will. When you have a new coaching staff and new assistants that haven't been part of your process, how do you go about, do they get more leeway or more vision from you guys on what they're thinking, or do they have to earn their stripes at all through the process to understand how you guys work it when they come in during the process?
I think, I think at the end of the day, one of the things that has been a big contributor to our success is the communications that we've had with any staff, whether it was Mike McCarthy's, whether it was Jason Garrett's, now whether it's Coach Schotte's, is the communication we have with the scouting department, with Jerry, with myself, in terms of giving a vision of what Schotty and his offensive staff want, whether it's what Schotty and Eberflus and the defensive staff want, getting a vision for the type of players that are going to enable us to have success on the field and what type of player we're looking for. And that does vary. It actually gives, one of the things that gave Jerry great pause is the fact that we're looking at 3 different defensive coordinators in 3 years. And even though they run certain things that are similar, there are things that are different. And when they're different, then that requires maybe a little different type of talent that you might be looking for in Dan Quinn's scheme versus Eberflus's schemes. But if you communicate that and communicate it well, you can certainly work through that, and you certainly know what you're looking for in the draft. And hats off to the scouting department. Hats off to Coach Schotty and his coaching staff in terms of the communication that's gone on with Jerry, myself, Will, and the scouting department, so we can have that vision for what we should be picking or what we should be looking for in a player when we get ready to draft a player.
one of the real advantages that I saw, and we all saw, Shotty knows our team. He knows it as well as any coach could have known it other than Mike. And that was big, and that is big. And so we're getting the benefit of those new coaches sitting in he's encouraged them to really be active in the process. And they were active, Will, with you on the road, going to workouts, certainly at the combines. But Shotty has got them really not only fired up, but really talking the talk. And actually been great in the draft. Seen a lot of things that might work, might not work, those kinds of things. It is a great thing to have a makeup of that much input. And probably, have we ever come in here at this time and not had the board done? I don't think we have. You might not have the timing of being in here. But one of the reasons that board's not up until today is because this has been a longer, to me, process. But these coaches that Shotty got, they're ready to gnaw through the wall. They're ready to roll. I mean, they're really excited, and Shotty's encouraging them to. And, boy, you're seeing a lot of different ways to look at a player. And that should be very helpful to us, not just because these guys are going to be coaching them, because you're trying to get the right kind of player out there. There's never been, ever, since I've owned this team, a draft pick that I didn't in any way really get the input from who it is that would help solve the problem. No way. I looked at Will, boy, when we're getting ready to pick, I'll look at him, and if he even blinks, I'll look what he's blinking about when we're getting ready to pick, and I'll measure Shotty, or I'll be looking back there at Flus at this particular time and looking for body language, looking for conviction, looking for that kind of thing. Now, that's on top of the arduous process of evaluating them by standards that are really, we're in agreement so much. We're one of the best drafting teams in the NFL. I'll say that. We are. And that's because of the hard work that goes on to get there, and it's because of, in my mind, the process we use to make the decisions. I do not make the decision about that player. That's been made cumulatively, and it's been made cumulatively here and there, and I'm a tiebreaker maybe. But I hope to hell that I'm sitting there listening to all of this, sat in on all the meetings, been in all the stuff, and I hope that we come up with the very best decision. Not to mean that you can't water them down to complete homogenation if you wanted to. And you could literally get so much opinion that it would go and it'd be totally homogenized. And so it'd be hard to find maybe the edge that you're looking for right there. But that's the process that we go through there. And by the way, I don't mind telling you now, if somebody comes up and starts coming out of my mouth right about the time we're getting ready to pick, and it's an errant idea or an errant thing, don't you think it isn't all hell to pay now? Nobody around here is afraid to really step up here and say, wait a minute. Let's look at this real good. And Shotty's already shown me, I sit beside him, and he's already shown me he'll work my ass over.
Brian, how much do you want to get more speed on your offense?
It's always something you look at. Todd, at the end of the day, this is an exciting time of year. Speed in this league is important. It's not the only way to do it. The one thing about speed, it gives you something you don't have to coach. And so the way we're going to play and the style that we're going to play, speed is an advantage, but it's not the only thing that we look at. And again, to speak to what Jerry and Steven and really Will were talking about, I've thoroughly enjoyed the process. The conversations, the disagreements, quite honestly, and then watching the kind of the conviction when you ultimately put the final grade on a player it's been awesome. And I feel really good heading into Thursday night.
John Machota with The Athletic. Jerry, there's been some of your 30-year visitors have talked about you having their mothers get them on the phone. Why have you done that? And maybe if you could share a story of maybe something that's come from that.
Well, it principally is for the moms and the dads. And I like to see the interplay between the player and his dad or his mom. I like to see that. I like to see it come back and forth. I think I can get a little read for their influence when you have it there. One player I came in, his dad's a serious coach. And boy, I'm telling you, when I brought up, I hope he understands he's going to have to work harder than he ever has in his life. He just, boy, he had that look on his face. He will work harder than he's ever worked in his life. He had that kind of comeback to it. It's
chalkboard voice. Y'all
more
crazy.
Importantly, it is great to be able to tell those wonderful parents, especially those single moms. It is wonderful to tell them how great they are to have had a child that's sitting here getting to go through this process and getting to have this kind of scrutiny and still sitting here available and in play. Thank you, Mama, and congratulations to you. You've done a magnificent job. That's the principal reason right there. And I know that the players, it means a lot to them too. It's a big deal for me.
Single moms.
Dallas Morning News. This is for Will. Usually we get a first-year coach, there's a little bit of a transition of understanding what he wants, but Shotty's been here a couple of years. So has that transition been a little quicker, smoother for you this go around?
Yeah, it's been quicker because Shotty knows what he wants and explains it very clearly. He understands our process. He's testing the conviction and bringing his points out in it. So it's been a seamless sort of process. And, when you talk about our process, I was talking with the scouts the other day. We're the wholesalers. We know where the fruit are. We're the wholesalers. We're saying what they can do. We're giving it to the coaches. The coaches make up the recipe, and then they own the restaurant. So it's how we all work together. We're trying to get this thing the right way. And there's the consistent way that we do it. And then Shotty saying the little ingredients that they want that are a little bit different than this staff or that staff. It's the communication and then us drilling down to try and find those things that make the little bit of difference.
Quick one for Shotty. As an assistant coach for a long time, how did you observe the head coaches and say, okay, when I get my shot, I won't do this or I might do that in terms of the draft process?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just to be open and honest, to create a format, which we certainly have done, where there was open dialogue and there was great communication. And at the end of the day, you want conviction. That's what you want. You want when you decide, hey, this is the player we're going to select. You want to be convicted by what's the vision for the player. That's part of our responsibility as a staff to answer some of those questions. But at the end of the day, the systems on both sides of the ball and special teams will be flexible enough to adjust. And at the end of the day, when we line up to play our first game, there's going to be 11 players out there, and whoever the best players are going to be the ones that play.
Nick Harris, 4-Star Telegram. This is for anyone on the board. I know you guys want to be in a position where you can take best player available at 12. How much do you factor in need on this team when it comes to these premium picks, or are you trying your best to stick to the board in this first round?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you are trying to pick the best player on the board. Now, if it's up there and you got guys who are equally graded for the most part, then obviously you might lean into a position where, hey, we could use a little more help there, and we're pretty strong over here, so let's lean in over here and take that player. But what you don't want to see yourself doing is, picking a player who's quite a bit down the line, a round down, and trying to take that player over a guy that you've got situated, in particular, let's use the 12th pick. If, we got first-round grades on players on our board, you want to take that player. And, at the end of the day, those things work themselves out. I mean, we never went into that draft, Micah's draft, thinking we were going to pick Micah and a pass rusher / linebacker. The year we picked CD, we were thinking we were going pass rusher all the way, and we end up with a receiver. And, great things happen when you do things like that. And, we were just having that conversation the other day about, you just got to you got to stay true to where these grades are and what these players are. And good
are we the only team that do this?
In this league, players, they rotate through, and if you got young guys coming, it allows you to maybe put resources rather than keeping a guy that you can put with somebody else that enables your team to be better.
All you can eat word salad buffet.
There's a lot of players in this draft class that have athletic traits, physical traits, but then there's questions about production with some. How do you value traits versus actual production from the college level?
Well, it's the traits that actually give you the chance to project.
We got Stephon Gilmore at the start, baby.
Change of direction, things like that. You try not to get too caught up in just the numbers. The numbers are what they are in terms of 40 time and things like that.
Stephon Gilmore, breaking news.
To this day is still the best thing.
He's at the start.
In my opinion, when you're studying a player. And then the one thing you didn't mention was the person. We're looking for those world-class competitors, the guys that are coming in and want to work hard, they're passionate about what they do. So it really is a puzzle that you're trying to fit together. And to me, traits are one of the pieces of the puzzle that you're trying to figure out.
Patrick.
You guys, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Question more so for Stephen, Will.
Come on, Gilly! Gilly lock!
Obviously. When you're looking at DPA versus D, if you're looking at a situation where, let's say hypothetically, there are 2 or 3 wide receivers who can instantly make an impact, but they have different archetypes for the most part, at what point do you start having the discussion about current personnel as far as being able to slide that scale more towards...
But need to sign them, though.
How did that discussion come along in the world?
That long-ass question. What'd you ask?
I hit on it a little. I just think it matters on the variations. What is the difference? And, if we got to use our terms, if we got a player with a 1.14 and a player with a 1.15, now that's really close. And, in terms of, picking a player who maybe fits your, maybe scratches an itch, if you will, in terms of picking a player that's going to fit a need.
Need some Mendo.
You might have a 1/10 of a point. In the big scheme of things, that's not a big deal. But if you're picking a guy who's got a 1.24 over a 1.14, then to me that's when mistakes are made, and you're ended up getting a player that felt like was a second-round player versus getting a player you could have taken that's a first-round player. That'd be my take.
Jay Slater, NFL Network. I'm old enough to remember the last time we had an exciting quarterback fall to the Cowboys when they came up. Have you guys gone through that scenario if there was an exciting quarterback like, say, Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders there at 12?
Yeah, well, we've got a major commitment with Dak, and so you weigh all of that. And but I was going to add to this whole conversation. It's very often that somebody will step up and say, "No, we got this guy right here. We've got him, and we just signed him under contract." But guess what? Guys get hurt.
Yeah.
So you bet your whole house that you got him, and then all of a sudden you don't have him. So that's when your old mind starts saying, "Well, if this guy did get hurt, what would we do this year?" And there you go. There you go. But don't.
What's
Mr.
your
Turner.
point?
All I'm saying is that you have to figure that rather than say we've got him, we don't have that need. You have to figure that there's some injury to be. Now, how important is that player as opposed to the one you're looking at on the board? And could he fill that need right there? I do that. I really do. And so if we've got depth and that guy gets hurt, that's one thing. If you're left out in the cold for right now and you need that, that's another thing.
Sean.
News to the Athletics. Stephen, you guys obviously have a need at cornerback with Trayvon recovering. We just saw Stephon Gilmore walk out the building. Just, what can you say about his visit here?
Well, we always are looking to make our roster better, is what I'd say about any player.
Just like anything, huh?
Obviously, we did some work in free agency via trade with Elam, and certainly we're fired up about Carson coming back off an injury that really limited him after he had that after the first 3 or 4 games. So we do feel like we've got some good corners, but we're always looking to make things better. Now, we have players who we'd like to think love to come back, say hi, and It doesn't always mean because they're in the building that there's a deal in the works. But
more sugar.
I think in general,
you finna sign
our acquisition. I always say it's year round, and we're always looking to get better. And if we see that opportunity, then we'll do it. Obviously, there's a big focus on the draft right now, but it doesn't rule out that we're not looking at trades or still looking at signing other players.
Hush your mouth.
Well, a lot of the players coming out right now, when
Take the money out!
They were right in the middle of high school. I'm curious, what are you seeing in your conversations, your evaluations, how maybe them going through that time has kind of shaped them differently than a lot of other players in the past?
I think the environment of college football has changed in general. You throw the COVID year in there, and then, there's some players that are in this draft that are 24 years old, 25 years old. And it kind of changes the environment that we basically the premise that we start and do in this business is you're looking for guys, blah, blah, blah. It changes the conditions. NIL, there's guys that go to 3 different schools, all of that. It changes the environment. We have to adjust with that to try and get the right information, make sure we know who they are, take all those things into consideration. It changes the puzzle a little bit.
Kyle.
Kyle Yeomans, Dallas Cowboys TV. First one for Coach and then a follow-up for Will. But sticking with corners and cornerbacks, in the past there's been plenty of significant influence from coaching staffs and defensive staffs when looking at cornerback prospects. How do you guys view some of the measurables when you evaluate some of these corners?
Yeah, I think it's, there's certainly measurables. You want length, you want size, you want the ability to play press man-to-man. The big thing for us defensively is, Flu says it this way, there's no house guests. So everybody's got to be willing to tackle and support the run.
Come on with it.
With the
tackle.
We do, but again, they come in all shapes and sizes, man. And again, a guy that's maybe a little bit, shorter, a guy that's a little bit faster. Again, if they have the right play style, if they have the right temperament, and we see some of those things in that regard to play style, the physicality, the ability to, we're always looking for ball skills. We call it ball production. If you find ways to create turnovers, that's really a good thing for your team. And
Toxic Tom, you crazy.
Will and his staff did an incredible job with that. So it was very seamless for us from a coaching staff to be able to speak to Jerry and Steven and Will and his staff because they did such a great job of kind of setting the table. I'll say this way, honestly, the scouts are the experts. Like, these are the guys at 365, 24/7. They are on the road. They are working. They know these guys better than anybody else. And then what's been great for us is the communication process of what we want from the system or the players that fit into the system. That's where it's been such a cool conversations.
And Will, 4 defensive coordinators since the start of 2020, how much of a challenge has that placed on you and your staff to get that right and have those conversations back and forth to make sure that the owners of the restaurant that you talked about earlier are on the same page?
I think ultimately we have to know the value and be consistent with the value of players, right? We've got to value them the same way year after year, not depending upon the strength or the weakness of the draft, so that you have a standard that you abide by. So when we say a first-round corner, we all know what a first-round corner is. There are certain measurables and things that you look at because that's what plays in the league and that's what's had the most success. We look at all that information, and then as Shadi says, we got to dig into the people. The biggest mistakes are made when it's the people that you get. It's what are you putting them into and who's communicating with them. So a big part of what we're doing is understanding the coaches, what we're trying to do, and then get to know the players and try and figure out the fit as well as the ability. So with the input of the coaches and our whole staff and the scouts doing that, we're trying to get to know the players as well.
Right.
Joe.
Joe Trahan, WFAA TV. Jerry, this was for you. Steve was talking before about that CD draft when you picked him, the Micah draft when you picked him. Can you
did they fix the seatbelt recall?
Once the draft goes live and you're waiting to see how you have to read.
Yo, crazy pose.
As players come off the board.
Yeah. I think, to me, as they come off,
this Jerry,
I'm just focusing on what happens when he gets there. Okay?
Okay.
If as they're coming off, I don't like there, then I'm saying, boys, is that phone ringing? And by the way, you've heard me say this 1,000 times. picking up the phone and calling will not do the job. The phone has to be ringing. Well, if I'm not hearing that phone ringing,
you better be on that phone,
and it's not ringing, then you start really looking at your alternatives. We traded that. Mike is perfect. Mike is perfect. We get there, boy, they won a top one, but we had right below, you've heard this story a million times, we traded down and didn't take Micah then because we got something there and we still had two. Well, then the rest of them went, and there you got Micah. That's the classic exercise right there. You got looking at it, playing it. Didn't exactly work right for us, but we ended up getting a top player after all. And so the big thing, I think Will hit it the very best of all the mistakes, which is the hardest thing to evaluate, is the player person, and their desire, what's inside them. And I mean, you just can't substitute for somebody that has got talent plus that. And so there's a whole lot of time spent around here looking for what's inside these guys, and should be. And that's something we look at real good. This bunch was hot about what was inside Martin when he was drunk. What was inside him.
What was inside of him?
Hot about what was inside of Tyron Smith.
What's inside of him?
What was inside him. What had gotten back from him. And that's when we've really done the best.
Hey, why he said it that way? What's inside him?
You talk sometimes about not reaching when you have players that are similar. But my question is this, because you said this a lot through the years. Have you done enough in free agency to make sure that you can be clean in this year's draft and not have to reach for a need, even in the later rounds?
Yeah, I think, that's what I was mentioning at corner with Elam. I think we did overall a much better job than, say, last year of really, doing quite a bit of volume in terms of really improving our roster and giving us, the opportunity and having an environment where we can pick the best players.
Meaty hands, y'all crazy.
I think our work we did in free agency is going to really pay off. I think it's going to make us a deeper football team, one way or the other. And
one way or another. Stop watching law.
This draft should, just make us better and increase the depth that we have. And, most of the time, 99% of the time, that's our goal in free agency. Not necessarily to go out.
He did the air quotes, baby.
Guys, obviously, we signed one. He was our own Osa to a big deal. But that's the way we look at free agency. And historically, we've had a lot of success in getting those guys, which I think in turn has led, as Jerry mentioned, it's just if you look at the number of starters you've gotten, the number of Pro Bowlers, the number of All-Pro guys, we've drafted at a high level compared to the rest of the league.
He talking like this, y'all.
John.
Over the last, 8-10 years, we've seen a number of contract holdouts linger through training camp and then sort of disrupt the start of the season in terms of chemistry. What gives you confidence that that won't be the case with Michael Parsons this year for Jerry and Steven?
Nothing. That's not the right answer. That's the answer you're looking for. But the facts are the contracts are clear. What happens, and so but you do have holdouts, and it's a plus. That was bargained. It goes on between the players and the teams. And I know you don't need that kind of history lesson, but my point is, you have some. We had it with Martin. And Martin held out.
Ain't no T in that name.
One way to look at it was we got him, and we had a hell of a year with Martin on that 1 year.
Sure.
But we also spent $8 million that we'd love to have the next year to go get another player extra.
No, I think that inherently happens when you're negotiating with great players. I mean, you can find examples all over the league. San Francisco with Bosa, I don't think he came in until 2 days before the first game. And I think they had a hell of a playoff run. So, everybody wants to look for reasons, and, we're always critiquing ourselves as to why we didn't have a good season. And I know one of the things that come up other than injuries is the fact that, although Dak never missed a practice, he never missed anything that he was required to be at. The flip side of that is CD did, and so that becomes an issue. But I don't think it is. I just think it inherently comes with the territory. I mean, you look around the league, and most of these players who are getting these very top contracts, it does take time to ultimately get there. And believe me, if we could sign Micah to a number we wanted to sign him to, take the money out! But right now, there's a difference in what we feel like is the right number and what he feels like is the right number.
Follow up to that, I mean, there's a perception that it's just the team is dragging its feet on these contract extensions.
Yeah.
Whereas agents have to play a role in this too. And have you encountered this over the years where maybe agents are slow in wanting to make a deal because they want to see the market keep getting reset so they can get their player the maximum amount? Because there are two sides to this negotiation, so I'm just curious what we're not really seeing behind those, those talks.
I think you're right on it. I mean, that's exactly what happens, and a lot of times representatives of these players do want to wait, and they think the longer they wait, the market goes up. And I will say this: a lot of times we want to not do a player a year earlier because we want to make sure, because you only get to choose a handful of guys that are going to make these big numbers. I mean, there's maybe as much as a half a dozen guys max that can really make an inordinate amount of money, and you want to make sure if you're limited to 5 or 6 of these guys that you pick the right 5 or 6 in terms of who you choose. And at the same time, the representatives want to wait and make sure he gets the optimal amount of money that he can get for the players. So it's just not perfect, but it's part of it. And there's a lot of teams that have players that wait till the bitter end to sign that go on and have a great year, and then there's other teams that sign a player late and maybe don't have the type of year they had hoped to have.
The reason that I don't like to, on certain situations, certain contracts, and I don't like to deal with the agent. By the way, I don't necessarily deal directly with attorneys when I've done things over my life. I've dealt with the principal, not with the attorney. It's not demeaning. They have excellent advice. But many times I've gone straight there. We had a great player here, Des Bryant. We had a major negotiation set up with his agent, Jay-Z. We met Jay-Z in New York.
Jay-Z!
We started at 11 at night. We finished about 5 in the morning. Jay-Z had his advisors talking about Dez. We sat there, had one of the greatest, I'll tell you right now, Jay-Z's one of the most first-class people I've ever been around. And I mean, he's got his act together.
Get your damn act together.
He was putting together excellent people to be represented by Jay-Z. And those, he wanted to have the greatest work habits. He wanted to have the greatest punctuality. And it wasn't just football or basketball. It was actors, and it was people of all walks of life. And what he said is when you have a meeting, I've never been late for a meeting in my life. Jay-Z.
You were late for this meeting?
Said, I met
you're talking about Jay-Z. Okay.
And he said, I'm always on time, if not early, with it. If they don't make meetings, they won't be in my organization. I can tell you that right now. Okay? If I'm representing him, he'll be at all the meetings. Because you see, the agent is normally maybe 1,000 miles away when they're not there, or when you're not getting some of the things that you work with on a daily basis with the team. They aren't around. They're there in spirit, but they're not there right on it. I said, Jay-Z, you mean to tell me that Dez will not miss any more meetings? Yeah, Dez won't. He said he will not miss any more meetings. I said, can I call you every time he misses meetings?
You just wanted his number.
Can I call you? He said, yes, sir. I'm telling you what it is. I said, hand me the pen. I'm in. We're gone. Let's go. I called you for Des. Well, Des missed some meetings, and I think a lot of Des. I think a lot of Des.
Why you sandbagging Des, man?
Really a great player, and I like him as a person. But I'm going to tell you one thing: Jay-Z wasn't any place to be found when we were having problems with our football team. I like to go to those key players and be with them and have it right there with them and make sure we were on the same page. Does that sound logical? Okay. That's the way it happens.
What's your point? Okay, so
All right,
what?
you got to follow that up, Joe.
Sounds good. Joe Hoy, DLL Sports. Jerry, you guys have used 2 of your last three first-round picks on offensive linemen, signed a lot of veteran offensive linemen, but you also had 30 visits with a couple offensive linemen. Long question short, would your previous investments in the offensive line keep you from using high investment in an offensive lineman in this draft?
One of the things that when we started this draft process with, we had a coach and we had their offensive, and boy, are we in great shape. One thing Shotty did, he did it right when I said, boy, we want some attention to that offensive line, and he gets his coordinator. That's one heck of an expert there, and he gets one of the best offensive guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Team within the team, the offensive line. And so one of the things that we started meetings off with was, guys, we've had some of the best offensive lines around Dak known to man. And we've also had some pretty good running backs around him too, around the same deal. Can you put that kind of resources in your offensive line? And can we get up there playing around the rim so that we can get one of these things?
Let's go play some basketball then. Let's go play some basketball.
We've been with Larry Allen. We got one when he was rookie. Other than that, we didn't get one. Okay, Zach, we didn't get one. Okay, so it doesn't automatically work. Okay, but generally when you step back and look at it, we've had some pretty good teams around a War Daddy drafted offensive line with a lot of ones. Obviously, when those guys get ready to come up, if they're that kind of player, then you're going to have a lot of resources invested in that offensive line out there with it. Did it pay off? Well, it's done a pretty good job for Dak, did a good job for the running backs that were around him pretty good there. So as you've got something to look at. We won't necessarily eliminate, because we've got the resources we have in the offensive line this weekend, we won't eliminate that because of that experience. We've had some success with loading it up with top picks in the offensive line.
Quick follow-up too, Will, a couple teams have kind of abandoned using 30 visits. I know you and Jerry kind of touched on this a little bit, but what is the overall thing you're looking for from 30 visits and the strategy behind having 30 visits?
It's getting to know the players, right? It's getting them in front of us. Some guys have to see the doctor. They don't have medical stuff, so there's a process that we go through with those guys. But it's getting to know them. That's one opportunity. We have formals and informals at the combine. We can Zoom them. We have a number of different ways, and we use all of those to our disposal to learn about the players. 30 visits is just another opportunity to get them in front of us and do some of our side things that we do with them.
Pat
Doney, NBC DFW. Brian was going to ask, with your potential interest in emphasizing the running game in this offense, how much do you think the runner matters? The running back position has gone up and down in value and how it's perceived. For you personally, how much do you think the running back matters in your offense?
I think the runners they matter. It's one of the aspects.
Running backs matters.
You can do it
RB matters.
I've done it a lot of different ways in my career.
Put that in the chat.
Committee, whether it's a guy that's seen as the bell cow. I think this is an incredibly deep draft at running back. You can find guys that, again, when you're watching them on film, you see the traits and the things that you like. You can have a vision for them, what they would look like fitting into our scheme that, Clayton and the staff are going to put together. But again, I think, it's a position like others where it's not just the player. It's the talent, all those things, but it's also the person, the wiring. Like you're hearing us say that across the board here, the person matters. The football character, the love of the game, those things matter. And I think there's a number of those guys at that position in this draft that we're excited about.
And then building upon that for Jerry, we've seen you take Ezekiel Elliott really high in the draft, and then we've seen this team not emphasize the running back. Seeing somebody like Saquon Barkley and what he did for Philadelphia last year, has your thought about the running back position changed from what it might have been from the future?
Well, Saquon and Philadelphia got your attention. There's no question about it. It'd be dead if you're doing what we do and not see that happen. I don't think that running back was as significant last year and us not getting where we wanted to go as you do, and maybe others. I don't. I think it was our offensive line that was the bigger impact of the running back situation. Now you say, well, but still you didn't have that. You had an opportunity to get those kinds of running backs. I would say that got my attention. I would say. Now we hit on a Murray in the 4th round here a few years back, and he was a doggone good running back. Ooh, look at that offensive line he had in front of it. Think about it. Think about it. Look at that offensive line.
Oh, we drafted offensive line, baby. Oh, my God. Where Boss Cowboys sports at? Where Louis at? We drafted offensive line, man.
Offense. It hurt us a little bit to lose Dak early, and y'all know that's condescending as far as the running game was concerned. That didn't help the running game. So this is not excuse time here, but it is appropriate.
We drafted offensive line
because can you
cure
the running game?
Yeah.
You can help it.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
Here at CBS Sports. First, Stephen, Jerry, and Will. You mentioned having a big commitment to Dak, talking about having a big commitment to Micah. How much do those contracts impact your willingness or aggressiveness in looking to trade down and acquire more picks?
Well, I think, obviously it's a big commitment of resources, but and part of why it's so important to draft is to complement the high-end part of your roster from what it takes from a resource standpoint with cap dollars. So it is important to get these draft picks. Now, as it turns out, we've got a good number of draft picks because we've lost players through free agency. We've pushed some of those picks down with trades. Like a Joe Milton, who we felt like, when we looked at the quarterback depth in the draft and what we could get versus what Joe might bring to the table, we thought that was, a good trade to make. So we pushed some of those picks back, but we still have, 10 picks. So we think we've got a good number of picks. I don't think we would let that dictate to us whether we move back or not. It's going to be who's there and then what we get, not necessarily just to take a trade back to pick up a pick. It's got to be a value trade for us to make that decision.
Two experiences that we've had. Emmett held out, running back. And Emmett held out. We just won a Super Bowl. And with Emmett out, and Emmett wanted more money. And I get it.
Yeah.
And we made him, and we wanted to make him the highest paid running back in the history of the NFL, but he wanted a quarterback. And understood him wanting that.
Yeah.
But we couldn't do it.
Why?
That was back literally before the cap. So that was just my old back pocket. And you just couldn't do that much and make this thing work. Why? Because I had to count on my back pocket, and I knew what was in there. Okay, so we couldn't do it. So this is pro football, and financial has always been here. It's always been here. Now it's logically here now, so that the reason why that you delay is because you're wanting those resources to not go to there, to go over to where you can have a better team around them. You empty that bottle to get that bottle, and you have less around them. Otherwise, you would just say whatever you want. And I'm not demeaning anybody here. I understand. I broke the rules on wanting to go make a buck. Seriously. So I get it. I do get it, and we all get it around here. Now, so this stuff of, well, we're waiting, it's going to cost you more, it's going to do that more. Have you ever thought that you might read more of the tea leaves if you wait a year or two?
No!
What if you had a key injury? What if you have
That's part of the game.
What if all of, well, that's blasphemy. Don't talk about them not being the player.
Look at Steven. Steven like this.
Well, that isn't blasphemy. That's something else to look at. Frankly,
Steven Jones is going crazy.
I have done better because of the tolerance for ambiguity that I have, running the quarterback all the way out and deciding whether to pitch or to turn it up himself rather than take the first option and hand it off. And I've done better out at the end.
Steven, like,
have I had a bloodletting out there a few times? Yes, I have. But I've run it out at the end. And that's the reason why you do it, because you're trying to reduce the amount of outgoes so that you have some left to do it again. I know everybody understands it, but it's just real important. If you think for 1 second that we're letting a player not come in just because are we not sensitive about, well, you might be able to get him for less if you'll put that 5-year contract on him earlier. But you also could eat some players that you might wish you didn't put the money on too.
Jeff Golden, Fox Sports, Jared, for you. Going back to the prospect of drafting a quarterback in the first round, again, something you haven't done since Troy. You mentioned having the major quit with Dak, having to weigh that. How
I got you, chill, Mo D.
Time you spend on the first round grade quarterbacks, and also possibility of having to have a conversation with Dak about that. Like, how does that impact?
Well, the biggest reason is we're set in stone. Now, we weren't set in stone for what happened to us last year, were we? Because he's the highest paid player in the NFL. What was it, 3 games later?
3 games later.
Or 4 games. 4 games later, we don't have a quarterback. There, highest paid player in the NFL. Will it happen? Can it happen? Of course it can happen. You can happen, and I say that again. We are not in the business around here at this time of looking for our future quarterback. By the same token, the fact that we are sitting up here, we have to always be thinking about the future quarterback. And we have to mainly be thinking about what happens if we don't have Dak.
Okay.
So that might impact you here in some way. It's probably not as likely as it would be if you were 5 years from now or 6 years from now as you go on down the road. We'll see. It's not taking one thing away from or adding to Dak. We're so proud to have him because we've got one of the best, and it gives us a chance to win this thing.
And even though we have one, we evaluate them all the same every year because you have to know what's in the league.
But one of the best things that I think that I've been a part of was drafting Aikman in the first round and Steve Walsh in the supplemental, same year, first round. Used 2 first-round picks. Had both of them sitting here. Okay? And, of course, that created angst. Enough for you to really
Steve Walsh, baby.
Troy didn't like that at all. Okay? That's a little unfair bringing in the coach's college quarterback to play on the same team you've just been drafted on. I get it. And admire him for working through that with Jimmy. So, and that turned out to be good. I got to New York, sat up there, Jim Finks. We made a trade of a life on what's his name? And there we go. It turned out. Well, now you can't read that on the draft room of something like that turning out. But I'll tell you what, Tex Tram did tell me back when we were talking after I'd bought the team. One of the best moves he ever made was had 3 top quarterbacks out of Los Angeles and traded a couple of them, and they were some of the names of the greatest quarterbacks ever. He said, you can go with having, in the same draft, you can go with having multiple top quarterbacks. That was then, this is now. But I'll tell you, it influenced me. And it was easy to do because Walsh was Johnson's quarterback at Miami, and it was Shula's who was his coordinator. Shula was the coach of him at Miami. So it was easy for us to do.
Man, that happened 40 years ago, man.
To do at the time, and we got out.
That 35 years ago, Jerry.
And we got multiple on our draft picks. Work.
Slap that out, buddy.
Sherrington, Dallas Morning News. Jerry, I'm wondering if it makes it a little easier this year to take the best player available if you know that he'll probably meet a need.
Yes. 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 And that's not different type thinking, Kevin, at all.
Would you say there is as many options available for you or because of that as there has been probably over the last 4 or 5 years?
Excuse me, what?
Probably as many options available to you this year.
Turn the hearing aid up, man. God, no.
Well, we've got, are you saying, can I ask you a question about your question? Are you saying we have a few needs? Okay. I thought you were. And yes. In answer to your question, yes.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio on 105.3 The Fan. Brian, you are in your first year of the job, and you have a number of staff members that you've hired who are new to the NFL or fairly new to it. How empowered do you think you and these other guys will be on standing on the table on draft day and getting real strong for somebody you believe in?
I think knowing these guys for the past couple months, they'll be very comfortable. We hired guys that have conviction, guys that are experts at what they do, whether they coached in college or the NFL, doesn't matter. The cool thing with a couple of college guys is they've known some of these draft prospects since they were in high school. 13, 14, 15-year-old kids, Junior Adams, Connor Riley, guys like that. Yeah. But I think Jerry, Stephen, and Will would all say that these guys have a voice, and they're going to use their voice.
Voice for the voices.
They're on the line, boy. This is big time. So put it out there.
That's what she said.
So they know that if they can, in their opinion, do a better job as a coach. So if I were them, I'd be crying, I'd be jumping up and down, I'd be doing, and that's, and I get that. I really do get it, and this is their time to go. This is Shotty. If Shotty's ever wanted a pick and felt like choking somebody or doing anything, this is probably it ought to be his highest motivated moment.
Sydney.
Sydney Staples, Teach 10 Sports. First question for Jerry. What should a fan be really excited for coming out of this draft?
I think that I would first look at our core. I would look at the core, and I'd start with Dak. And I would look at Micah. I would look at some of the top players. I'm a half full guy, not a half empty guy. So I would always start by, on that side of the page, our pluses. And then, if your question is about this draft, I would see, just as we're going to do it, and that's the way it's going to happen, is we're going to put somebody on that draft side that adds to it. That's a plus. Stephen said, build that roster. And so that if they see the build a roster, I get a lot of criticism for being as involved as I am and having the record that I've got for being involved, let's say, about players, draft players and what have you. And I know that there's a lot of criticism there. The alternative to that is you couldn't be more on the incentive plan. And the incentive plan has to do more, if it's a mess, I live with it. Okay, now you say, but your fans live with it, Jerry. Your fans live with it, and they do. They do. What I would hope for them is the same thing I'm hoping from Shotty. Here he is, 20-something years in the NFL. Damn, here he is now, head coach. Step out like that. And boy, I expect him to be coming out like he was fighting Tyson and getting after it the whole way. And I like that kind of stuff. I've seen us have success when you're that kind of motivated and you'll just get into it and put the passion into it. And I really do see a lot of passion around here, starting with this guy sitting right next to me. None of us like to sit there and watch it on TV.
Second question is for anybody. What are the intangibles, the must-haves of a player when you're looking to draft them, when they are sitting in your locker room? What are those must-haves of a Dallas Cowboy?
For me to represent the ownership and the coaching staff, and what we have to find out is how much do they love football. At the end of the day, if you love it, you will do whatever it takes to maximize your ability. And we got to go through a number of steps to find that, right? These guys are getting paid in college now. There's so many other factors that we have to get to. But that's why spending time with them, the coaches being involved with it, our process is you got to find out who the guys are and if they love football. If you love it, you'll do anything for it to improve, and realizing the value of teammates, winning, competitiveness, all of those things.
And we're going to close out the way we started. David?
Brian, this is for you, and this is in, I know the decisions made this week are organizational and everyone's a collaborative effort, but kind of touching off what Jerry said a second ago, this will be your first player you've taken as a head coach. What is the significance, or do you see the symbolism of that in the message it sends your team and players as far as who you're looking for and what type of player you want going forward? Is it that big of a moment, or is this just another step in what you're doing all off season to get to the start?
Well, I mean, it's a big step, but I wouldn't say that it's a symbolic moment for me. We're going to add great players throughout this entire draft. Yeah. And it doesn't end after the draft ends. We're going to find and continue to keep looking under every stone to find guys that fit into what we want to do as a culture and what adds value to our team. But I know one thing. Whoever we add on Thursday night, it will be through tremendous amounts of hard work from the top down, from Jerry, Stephen, Will, Mitch, Chris Vaughn, the entire scouting department, the coaches, and it will be someone that's going to make the Cowboys fans proud.
All righty. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. That was the presser, Jerry Wayne Jones, and it's now time for instant reaction time, baby. Appreciate y'all so much. But what we took away from this particular, let me go like this. I want to be able to make a video within a video with that, you know. Let me make a video within a video. Yeah, these faces, boy. All right, so that face is doggone funny as hell. LeBron James. Okay. All right, so my biggest takeaway of the presser is that they gave details, and I'm just being 1,000 with you guys, that they love speed, right? And he said that he wants to make a pick for his first pick to be monumental. And, of course, Shotty may just do that. They will draft an offensive line in this draft. We heard breadcrumbs of them drafting a wide receiver. They did speak upon, like, the differences as far as the culture aspect of what Shotty is trying to bring forth as far as his theory of what the football should look like and how hungry guys are. I think that when we look at everything and we contextualize what they said, basically, even Jerry Jones with all of the word salad, you know, and there's a lot of word salad that had us looking around like, hey, can he get to his own point? Because he even brought up the fact that he even talked to Jay-Z, right, on Dez Bryant conversation, which was many a moons ago, right? And that's crazy because his whole argument on that topic is that I don't want to deal with agents. I would like to get a deal done myself. And to put the cherry on the top, you know, Shotty wants defense. Yeah, I hear you. I am awake. Don't contextualize it. Well, hey, to put the cherry on the top, this is fast forwarding to present day. You got David Mulugeta, who, dare I say, is one of the most notorious agents out there that won't take upon being talked about loosely, right? And he got multitudes of clients that he's dealing with. Now, we do know that Jay-Z, shout out to The Rock, you know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. When you look at Jay-Z in his whole movement as it relates to signing players, they had a meeting at 11 o'clock didn't finish till 5 o'clock that morning. Here's my thoughts. Jerry Jones, those ways and those examples of what you utilize and use far as the reason why you don't trust agency, and on top of that, you don't trust even attorneys, is crazy. Because one of the things that we have to understand that, ladies and gentlemen, modern day football is literally not for long. You got to make sure that you can get these deals done as quick and as soon as possible, because the longer you wait, the value of said player that you trying to sign is going to increase. And if you don't have that ability to get a deal done sooner, you're going to pay more. And you can lay out all of the lays of the land and the ways of the land on injuries. That's a part of the game. But you can't say, I'm going to sign a person and then, oh, they may get hurt, so that's why I'm going to wait it out. No. You got to go ahead and sign said player. Because you could have gotten Dak Prescott for $10 million less, right? APY range, right? That $10 million, you can put that towards another area where we have all of these holes at, whether it's wide receiver, whether it's going and get on the running back. Remember, Derrick Henry was $6 million on the market now. Before this season kicked off, this offseason kicked off, that's what Rico is right now. He went over to Carolina land. So you got to figure out a way. Shout out to you, Kevin Turner. Appreciate you for jumping in. Shout out to you, Ice Cold Cowboy. Appreciate you. And Angie, you got to figure out a way to get in front of these contracts. And watching the tea leaves and all of this stuff is only going to drive up the own price. Now, the whole storyline and the subject matter, when you went all the way back into 19 of 92, or was it 93? One of those years. I think it was 93. When Emmitt Smith held out, and Emmitt goes to his grave and say, oh, it wasn't a holdout, I just had no contract, right? If you thinking that was a good way to handle business, I got land on the moon for sale. Discount. 15% off, Jerry, because it was a terrible move. I think he coming off of a Super Bowl, had 18 total touchdowns in the regular season, about 4 or 5 touchdowns in the postseason, and he was by far the MVP of your team. And if you do him like that, of course he's looking for money, because he was the heart and soul of this team. And we can go back and forth talking about offensive linemen with the conversation you had, but you can't dismiss what the coaching staff brought to the table. And the coaching staff, not one person before that first Super Bowl or that second Super Bowl was drafted in the first round as it relates to offensive line. LA didn't come into the latter part of it. You got to have 93. Appreciate you, Jeremy. Thank you. You got to have coaching to give you some installments in strategy and scheme. So by far, the Cowboys operating the way that they are doing in an archaic way. It may have worked in the 90s when you had good coaching. But as of now, modern day football and modern day times, you got to get ahead of it. And that's one of the areas where we have been really, really wrong at. We can accumulate talent, which is good. But can we accumulate skill sets, strategy, schemes? We don't do that. And you can have all the talent in the world. When you had a Jason Garrett, I hate beating him up, but he was here for 13 seasons. That's a long time. And you can have all of the talent in the world with even Mike McCarthy. But if you don't have a system in place, you're going to continue to see the same results. Now, hopefully, Shotty can infuse with the two and get a real system in, an identity. If we're going to be a powerhouse run first team, then let's do that. If we're going to be a team that's chunking the ball all over the field, let's do that. But keep in mind, balance is everything, and you got to have that. We haven't had that in a long time. We've been one-sided. And with Jason Garrett, we understand, we know how the love affair was with that. But at the end of the day, the presser, to me, shouldn't have even been a presser, Or do any other teams do an hour about their draft wants and needs and letting the world know what direction they're going. It's just crazy. But, it is for what it is. But that's my takeaway from the presser. I hope that with this clean sheet of paper with Shotty, that at least we identify what we are. We are a run team. We are a defense that can clog the drain, and we can stop the run, basically. So I want us to run the ball and stop the run, right? Play action will be open to you if you get a speedy wide receiver, if you fool around and get defensive tackle and all of that stuff, it should work out. What we're going to do at this time, we're going to open up the phone lines. I really want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you guys feel of everything. Shout out to the DallasCowboys.com. Be sure to check them out. And for all of the audio was repurposed from them. So no copyright is intended. All right. With that being said, we have some people already in the queue. I got from the 929, What's on Your Mind? You're live on the nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me. 929, you're live. All right. 206, you're live on the nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me.
What up, Mark? How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm great, man. I can't complain.
Yeah, I like what they about to do,
Mm-hmm.
2 more days.
2 more days. Yep.
To get it over with. Get these good picks. I spend your pick.
You know you like it, don't you? Ibuka, did you like the Tyleek Williams and Martinez? Martinez, you look at his tape. Oh, man, this dude is bowling ball running. He knocked the pins over.
He's a beast. Another big guy is C.J. West.
C.J. West, yeah.
But there's some good deep tackles out there. Like my fantasy pick, my last pick of the draft.
Right.
It's the last pick. Going on get Desmond Walker, big 400-pound Florida. Stop that push. That push.
The tush push, man. And the thing is, if you want to stop the tush and the push, you got to have somebody with meaty hands. You know what I'm saying? And Tyleek Williams, he's meaty. He's got girth, lower body girth, and he'll be able to be a person that's a true 6'3.5", 6'4", 330 guy that can move around with his size and weight. So yeah, I think that this draft right here, even though it was on the fly, I think that it was one of my better ones right here.
Yeah, that was a good. I did a last minute, and for some reason,
right.
I don't know if that's gonna happen. It had Walter Nolan drop it to the second round. So I picked Matthew Golden, Walter Nolan, Quinshawn Judkins, Khalid Renshaw, the corner, Tulane. Then I picked Jack Kittner, linebacker, Notre Dame, Melo Dawson, Kansas corner, Najee Stackhouse, D tackle, Georgia.
Right.
Lane Larson, running back, UC Davis.
Come on with it.
And then I had Desmond Watts, D tackle, Florida, and then Desmond Walker, D tackle, Florida.
No doubt.
Desmond Walker, D tackle. Oh yeah, Desmond Walker, the last pick, the Florida D tackle. And Eli Williams, edge. That's a big pick, like.
It's a good pick, man. Real good pick, bro.
Everybody don't know about Elijah. He like 6'2", 285.
285. So he 310.
And he come from a black school.
Yeah.
A small school.
Small school. You go to JSU?
Yeah.
Oh, he went to JSU? Okay, good, man. Shoot, I like my JSU boys,
Yeah. So that'll be
06. Shout out to my class of 06. But go ahead.
And like I said, man, I'm like, Desmond, because that's the last pick. Ain't no, that's their pick. Ain't nobody moving us. Because you said like your pick, and then you still pick Desmond in the last round.
Yeah.
That's that. You store it on the wall, and he 460.
Yeah.
Your boy from Ohio State, you not moving him.
Not moving them, man, like a tree planted by the water, man. I appreciate you for calling in, my guy. What else you have before I let you roll, man? What else you have, man?
Hey man. We got to win tonight.
You got to win, man. You got win. Man, the way the Minnesota's playing, bro. Soda's a playing, man.
And let's get this. Let's do good. I can't wait till tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Come on with it.
I can't wait till Thursday to get this thing over with. That's what everybody waiting for. And then my last time, the picks after that, the free agent pick on that Sunday.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling in, MJ.
All right, fam. How about them Cowboys?
How about them? 929, hold tight, smoke one for you. I got your draft pulled up. See, that's how what y'all supposed to do. You send the draft in to me, and then I can go over it. MJ, he just be talking to me, man. He got to send it in, bro. Let me see. Y'all grade smoke one for you. He DM me his draft. He got Ted, Quinshawn Judkins, Jonah with an A, and I don't know who this is. Okay, I got to click on it. Harold and them. They gave you an A for that, okay? Boy, you good. You good with these drafts. The 91st pick, you got Harold Miner, Jared Wilson, Dorian Strong, Devin Neal. You got them way that deep? Okay, all right. Damn, how many picks you got? You must send me multiples. Yeah. Shoot, this look pretty good. Let me bring you up on the phone, man. But before 929, I'm gonna check him first, Smoke. So let me see if he's still here. 929, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by Frenkel Firm. Talk to me.
What's going on, man? How's everything?
Man, all is well. I can't complain, bro.
That's good, man. When you did the little draft simulator thing earlier and you was talking about a mecca, this whole entire draft process, I know everybody's infatuated with Ted and that dude's a monster. And Matthew Golden Speed, but I've been a favorite of Mecca Abuka this whole entire draft process. Just for the simple fact of what everybody's been saying, and it's just like he's been the number 2 receiver at Ohio State the whole entire time.
Yeah.
However, at the same time being the number 2 receiver, he has the most yards. So he's the perfect Robin, can play all over the place. And like you said earlier, he is very well-rounded. He's probably the most well-rounded overall receiver in the entire draft. I would love for him to be at 12.
Come on.
And listening to the Joneses, they have 16 to 18 first round grades. Okay, I'm not a very big trade back guy, but if they are going to trade back, they just told you we're not going back further than 18. Because a Mecca may slide back there, and we could pick up a second and a fourth or a third or whatever the case may be, and give me, I don't necessarily need a Marion happen. I'll take a Mecca in the first round, give me Travion in the second round, and give me the cornerback from, Ravel from Miami in the third round, and from there, I'm good.
Now, I missed that part. So how many first round grades they say they have?
They had 16 to 18 first-round grades typically given every single year. We're at 12. So they just told you if there is a trade back scenario in the phone rings, they're not going back past 18.
Okay, that's a damn good pickup right there. I probably was joking around. I didn't hear that part. So I appreciate you for that.
So,
yeah.
No problem. So my thing is so if we do trade back, and I'm against trading back, but if we do trade back, and I've been a big fan of Mecca, and everybody got Chad and Matthew Golden, well then let him fall on back to 16, 17, 18. We'll get our 4th round back or another 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
Give me Travion Henderson in the 2nd round because I like him in the 2nd round, and give me Ravel from Miami in the 3rd round, and from there, man, I'm good from there. Just get some more depth pieces like you've been doing now. I think the Jones and the Cowboys, I think we're cooking this offseason, and people are not really paying attention.
Man.
I think we're cooking a little bit. We got a little sizzle going on.
We do got some sizzling going on, and I'm not mad at it, bro. I appreciate you for calling in. I thank you for your insight to that. I surely missed that they said 16 to 18, so that dude paints a different picture. Because somebody now out of that 5 or 6 players, we need to know how many tags are touching. That should have been the follow-up questioning. And I think they probably asked them that, if I'm not mistaken. Like, how many guys do you have kind of like lumped together? Yeah.
They kind of touched on it, but they were very vague about it. They was just like,
Cool.
we want to be sure that if we got a 114 and a 115,
Yeah.
that is more so going to be like, okay, which one fits a little bit better? Okay, if the 115 fits a little bit better, we'll take the 115, but we're not going to take a 125 over a 115.
There you go. I remember them talking about that. Man, you soaked in some good information on that. Appreciate you for calling in. Let me hear you say it, bro.
How about them Cowboys?
Come on with it, man. Look at that. I love it, man. Just pure football talking and getting things going. And he opened up some things in my mind about that. And I can't wait to see how – I really can't wait for this weekend to be over with. But I don't even see in this first round Emeka to anybody on this tankathon. Let me make sure before I let smoke up. Let me know if y'all see Emeka. What happened to him? He falls to the second round? Whew. Okay. Damn, they feel that bad about him on Tankathon? That's wild, y'all. That's wild. That's wild. All right, so they had us drafting Tet, and I can't get mad at Tet. But some part of me is feeling as if, though, Ted is good, I just think Emeka will have a faster transition. That's all I'm going to say. He's like literally in between the two of Matthew Golden and Ted. I just put Emeka Ibuka right there. Like, he's not a blazer guy, but he's a better route runner, right? I think at the top of the route, he's a little bit more polished than Matthew Golden. But Matthew Golden can reach and get that ball up off the sky. I think off the releases, Golden, you're going to have to fabricate more of those things, But neither here nor there. Let me let my guy on, man, and dive into what he got going. From the 910 you in, smoke one for you, man. Talk to me, bro.
Lord Nation, my brother, how you doing today?
Man, I'm great, man. I can't complain.
Man, you had me laughing so hard at those pictures, bro. I'm sorry, bro. That Jay-Z one, bro. Oh, my God.
That Jay-Z. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, the way I got this draft, the way I did mine is that I did Tech first, right?
Right.
And then the second round came up, and I got a heck of a trade offer, bro. Like, one team offered me like four damn draft picks for that one second rounder, bro.
What app are you using? What app are you using?
Okay, I can't remember. You know what? I'll get on. I'll get back on my phone and I'll send it to you.
Send it to me.
Let's see it. Yeah, it's pretty good though. It's really good, man. But yeah, I was really focusing on Tet and Mecca. Now that you said what you just said, I better change Tet and put Mecca there to believe it.
Now, here's the thing though. It's going to be a hard press to pass up on Tet. But Emeka, to me, I just think that he's a more polished in every category but jump balls as far as what Tet can do, right? And if you look at Golden, he's a speedster, even though his tape doesn't shows that, but he's very quick off his releases. He's like a cat. It's hard to catch. And that's why, you can get a little bit more out of him versus Emeka, because Emeka off the LOS, he tends to come off a little too high, him and Tet. Right. But keep going.
Yeah, but Crenshaw, he's the only one left for me at the high rate, because Hampton and Henderson had left. So I all the way stuck with Crenshaw. That's why I bought him. I mean, got him anyway. So, but Jonah, bro, I know y'all not opening old linemen, bro. I understand it, but that dude is athletic and strong. Trust me, he is very, very strong, bro.
Yeah.
Strong and athletic. He can move.
Yeah.
Okay, and Fannin is a great tight end. We can push by him. We go to the next guy. I think it's
Jared Wilson, interior offensive lineman from Georgia.
Oh my goodness!
They gave you a B plus on him. Yeah.
Yeah, but man, watching that guy, he don't go backwards at all, bro. At all. He don't go backwards at all, man. Like he gets hit, he'll stay. He might get bounced back one time, but he anchors down. He'll go nowhere else after that. He's a stout lineman, but you need to watch him really. Darren Strong is a tight cornerback. He will stay sticky on you.
He gonna be a right guard. Wilson is gonna fight for that right guard spot.
Yeah, I can see him be a right guard. Yeah, I can see him be a right guard. He can still move too.
Okay.
All right, Devin Neal, as far as is got that power and speed.
You got to break down Strong for me. Why you went with
Strong?
yeah.
Strong. If you watch Strong, this dude is sticky. He stays with you. He turns his head. He looks for the ball, knocks the ball out. I mean, he stays with you. Every move you're doing, he is right there with you, bro. It's like he doesn't get lost in the traffic or nothing. He stays right there with you, bro. If you pay attention to watch how he plays, he will tackle and he stays sticky defense.
Yeah.
All right. Devin Neal, I don't want to say too much about him. You already know how good he is, but they gave me a C on it. I don't know why, but I think probably at that position, this part says it's probably too high for him. But you know, we need he's have 2 more running backs. Malachi Moore. I just got him because we needed a safety. I want somebody with some speed and that won't get beat over time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that hurt my feelings, bro. Somebody be beating on top like that, bro. You know, Logan Brown. He was just an extra pick. Isaiah Roberts.
Yeah.
Okay. He is an interesting product, bro. Very fast. Got good twitch. He his hands are quick, bro. I mean quick. They are very fast, bro. You gotta look at how his hands are.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody on this list right here is Jack Kaiser, bro. You talking about instincts? You know how that kid from UCLA, how his instincts is, how he gets same way. Jack Kaiser is the same way. Riley Mills is so strong. He can't get blocked, man. He can't get blocked at all. He can't get blocked. You need to go watch that guy. He can't get blocked, bro. Riley Mills cannot get blocked.
I love your analysis on this, man. And I know what you about to say about Nick Nash because he's one of my favorites. All right, break down Nick Nash. Come on with it. I like Nick. Come on.
This dude, this dude has great feet. He knows how to get open. He goes for the high point of the ball. He catches with his hands. He don't drop the ball, bro. Like, literally, this dude don't drop the ball at all, bro. I mean, he don't drop it. Like, when I say he'll get the ball, he go get it.
Yeah.
I think he was the top receiver on my team, too, at the time, too. So, I mean, he was – Nick Nash is like that. He is like that. For a power route player, he's really like that. Okay. Ty Hamilton. You know how Williams is for Ohio State getting all the flash, all the flare? He did the dirty work.
Okay.
That's a dirty work guy right there.
Yeah.
Powerful, strong, puts the pocket. When he puts the pocket on one side, he's pushing it towards Williams' side to get the tackle. And usually he be the one to get it.
Yeah.
Barron. Go watch him. That's all I gotta say about that.
I'm gonna have to go watch him.
Watch Tyler Barron. Please go watch Tyler Barron. That boy with the dog on the line, brother. And Jaden Smith.
I like his tape. I like his tape.
He is nice. He's sticky too. So I mean, you got.
How many picks are these, man? God dog, this list longer than Jay Leno. 16 picks. How in the world?
16 picks. I got 16 picks, Law. Off of one draft, off of one trade.
Man.
Off of one trade, bro. That's crazy.
That site is crazy.
It's crazy. But think about it, man. If we can get these about 2 more picks, we can build up players. I mean, there's players all up and down the line, like almost towards the end, brother.
How many times you took for you to get this? Because you got all good grades, bro.
Once.
Jeez, boy. And the only time they gave you a bad grade, and I like his tape, is Devin Neal.
Devin Neal?
Yeah, that's
Devin
crazy.
Neal, exactly.
That site is crazy.
I'm gonna see you the site as soon as I got the phone with you, bro. But I'm telling you, brother, this right here, I mean, all I did was just look at the people's name. I went back there, I watched the tape, I kept on studying them. I'm like, man, this dude's pretty damn good, bro. I said,
you did a damn good job on it,
bro. Man, but before I go, if you guys ain't watching, I think the thing is Lard Lansing, the running back from UC Davie, I ain't got nothing to say about that dude. He's an undrafted free agent. He is going to be nice.
Hey, I can't wait to see your undrafted free agent list then. Is that the one, Smoke?
It's going to come. It's a good chance to, brother. But hey, you have a good day.
You too.
Law, I love you, brother, and I'll always be your friend, and you'll always be mine. You understand that?
No doubt, man. So let me ride there.
How
about them, Smoke? Let me ride that whip, though. Let me get that whip, though. Let me push one of them whips you got, though.
All day long. Come get it, brother.
Yes,
you're
indeed.
good for it.
No doubt, man.
All
You
right,
have a
brother.
good one. Yeah.
Good
If y'all don't have excitement in your voice like my guy Smoke one for you, man, I don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Man, that was a very exciting. He was talking as if, that's my dog, he was talking as if we got those players. And to be fair, I ain't mad at none of these picks, man. Sure, he doubled up with running backs, right? And then he even dipped and dabbled a little bit in interior play, whether it's offense or defense. He even got a tight end and pause if necessary. And he went and got Tet. Hey, that's a nice draft with 16 players. Somebody's getting cut. It's going to be a day of awakening of those who are going to get cut for that, right? That's a lot of good players, bro. Gilly meeting with the Cowboys right now. If the right corner ain't there in the draft, he will be a Cowboy on Monday. David, I really appreciate your insight and your knowledge of that. I'm quite sure. Yeah, I'm quite sure. 16 picks is a lot of picks, though. But he nailed all of them 16 picks. That's good. I would say Gilly on his team will help Carson so much. Because now Carson can learn from Gilly, right? Just like Bland learned from Gilly. So I do like that. The next call I have available and ready for me is this my guy, man, from the 254. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Hello, Nation.
What's up, John? What's good with you?
Nothing much.
How you living?
Good. I've been gone for a minute.
Yes, man, I feel you, man. But, draft is right around the corner, John, and we going to have a great time, man, and trying to get everything organized here. Who you want?
Do you know if that zero is going to number 9? It is. I forgot that player name.
To that player 9? Nah. You talking about Ashton Genty?
Yeah.
I mean, if we get Ashton Genty, John, I'm going to do some crazy things on draft night. If we get Ashton Genty, I'm saying, I don't know if y'all old enough to remember, but when we drafted Ezekiel Elliott, my guy, Shango was like, it's over. Yes. I might do the same thing, John. If we draft Ashton Genty, I'm going to reincarnate that particular video, what my guy Shango did, and say it's over, because I know for sure what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a jump.
It's someone confirm that with the number 3 of Michael Park, no.
Okay.
In the number 3 on number 9 to 0 to 0 what the number was.
The number 0 will be overshown. He'll be wearing number 0 this season. I can't wait to see those crispy zeros out there on the field, man, making plays. It's going to be, look, this season going to be excited, John. I can't wait to see you. And by far, we're going to make sure, and we're going to hold everybody accountable that's in his chat. We're going to make sure we get you to a game this year, too. We're going to make sure, John. All right?
Yeah. and I closer to the stadium now.
Yeah, you closer to the stadium. Yeah. We're gonna make it our business, John. And before I let you go, let me hear you say it.
How about your dog couple? Go DC 405.
DC4L, man, for life, man. That's my guy, John, man. Put John in the chat. I need to see flames all down the chat, man. John is a superstar hero, and we are undefeated when we literally have John at the game. And one of the games he went to, Dak Prescott put a 40 on them boys. Who remember that? He went to that Eagles game and he put a 40 on it, and we all know of John's circumstances here, right? And so many people, will cast aspersions and say negative things about certain things, about things that we don't need to bring up at this point. But as a real one, y'all know by the strength of what we were able to do for him to get him out to a game is unbelievable, unmatched. And that's one thing that I pride this content on and this channel on, is being able to be a resource to people, right? It's being a resource to people. A lot of people talk and do videos, but they don't be a resource to anyone. They just talking, right? But I'm actually moving, and we are out there making sure that we can pave a better way for someone, right? So that's what we're doing. Salute to John. And I got my next caller on from the 971. You're live on the nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me. Once, twice, 3 times a lady. Thank you. Hey, some people that was JP, man. JP, what happened, man? Your Mississippi connection went off, All right, so the 469, what's on your mind? You're live on the nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me.
Yo, good afternoon, Law Nation. How you doing, man?
Man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, that's good. Hey, man, I just want to apologize for that that whole situation from yesterday. But hey, at least we know the answer for today about the draft.
Oh yeah. Shoot, come on with it.
Hey, I just had to bring it out there. You never know. Like I said, I'm not expecting it to happen, but Jerry and Stephen Jones can just be out there straight out fools.
Man, come on with it. No, you had an opinion, right? And one of the things that I try not to do is try to change anyone's mind, right? Because it was a take, Shador at 12 because of the nuances with the Joneses. I won't be hit with surprise. It would be like, God, dog, this is what the Cowboys do. But it is for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to say it was my idea. It's something I just thought about Jerry being Jerry, right, Law?
Mm-hmm.
But back to football. I just want to say draft is 2 days away now, Law? That's crazy. The time flies, man. And thank you for all the coverage you do for all the Cowboy Nation.
Mm-hmm.
But
thank you.
I just got 2 names out there that I feel that could be beneficial if we don't go wide receiver in the first round. But I think all indications is we're going wide receiver in the first round, depending if they fall, especially Ted, because I feel like Ted can go higher than expected. Especially to these teams that need explosive wide receivers and have quarterbacks that, hey, they need to prove it that we're giving them weapons. Now you got to go ahead and prove that you're that quarterback, correct? So he might go higher than expected. So something to watch out for. But 2 wide receivers, I want to mention to you something that can fall in the later rounds. I think one guy I already mentioned to you, other than his hands, Law, his size and ability is something to be coached at. But, Savion Williams from TCU, 6'4", I think that's what you found him. He can be later in the wide receiver. I think he'll fit perfectly next to CD. But another wide receiver that I feel not being talked about is CD's clone out there that can be coached up is Andrew Armstrong.
Andrew Armstrong, yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what. If you put him next to CD, it's gonna be hard to tell who is who, because they can do almost exactly the same thing, putting in the right situations.
Come on, man.
And I think Schottenheimer's ability to put CD, Armstrong, and some packages with him using their strengths, right?
Yeah.
I think that can be a dangerous combo. So I just two names to keep in mind that in case we don't draft a wide receiver in the first round, in case they don't fall, because like I said, Ted and Golden can go higher than expected, and that's that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in, bro. Come on with it. Good call from Lokes, man. C sent me his draft picks or what have you. And C, shout out to you, man. I can see that you've been following me for a long time. You put BB in here. Was that before the draft or after the draft last year? Let me see. Okay. Hey. All right, so you went with a NFL mock draft database. That's the website that they're using. You know how that song goes, I got heaven right here on earth. You know what I'm saying? Don't y'all know how crazy of a draft this would be? You know, this would be heaven on earth, a piece of it, not all of it, the different levels to heaven, right? But Ashton Genty, Emeka, and then you get Princely, and then you get Quincy Carter twice removed, renamed as Riley. Then you get another Riley Mills, and then you go with Sebastian, not Janikowski, but Castro. And then you get my guy Nick Nash down the stretch. And then how many Rileys you got, bro? It's another Riley? Wait a minute. Is it, shoot, wait a minute. This must be split upon. Okay. Oh, it is split. Okay. And then you get Nick Nash, and then you get, well, it's the Q's, all right, Nasty, Robinson, and then you get Mello Dotson, and then you get Taj Brooks. Bruh, done killed this doggone draft. You get Taj Brooks at the end. Oh, my God, we went in the Super Bowl with this roster. Come on with it, man. Who said we ain't winning the Super Bowl with this one? I'll run around with a Super Bowl. I'll start talking Super Bowl, man. Come on, man. Heaven on earth equal tacos, Are they fish or they ground beef, turkey? What kind of tacos are they? Vegan tacos? Yeah, I like this one, C. I like this one right here. Let me get the next caller on, and I see you sent me one too, Chilmo D, appreciate you. I got from the 937. You're live on the Nation.
Hey, what's up, Law? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Hey, I was just thinking. I think we got to trade back in round one. I think we have to trade back to get some more higher draft picks to really bolster our starting lineup. I feel like. I'm not knocking Ted. I just like all four wide receivers. I feel like if we get one of those wide receivers in the first 20 picks and still am able to get like a round two or maybe a three, depending on how far we go back. I really like Carson Schlesinger out of UCLA, but I know that's like a luxury pick kind of because we need a corner and a D tackle. But that's why I feel like we need to trade back a little bit, still pick up one of the wide receivers, and then go about our business with that.
Yeah, trade back gang is as long as we got like 16 to maybe 17, like he said, 18 true first round.
Yeah, I don't want to go back too far, but
don't go back too far.
I don't want all those receivers to go off the board, but I mean, I even like Burden. I like Luther Burden out of Missouri. I know a lot of people aren't high on him. I see him going as low as like almost a 40. But I still like him too. But I feel like as long as we get one of those wide receivers and get him back, I don't know about Demo. I don't know, if he's going to be ready to go this year. 2 season-ending injuries. I don't know if he's. I want him to be what he was before because I mean he's a special player. He's like a Micah Parsons out there.
Right.
But I feel like if we got Schlesinger out of UCLA, I feel like our linebacking core would be probably the best in the league.
Yeah.
Because I like the stuff we did. I know a lot of people were down on Murray. I like Sanborn a lot too, but I think I kind of like the moves that we did this year. I'm not too mad at Jerry like I was last year.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I appreciate you for calling in, champ. I mean, thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
No doubt, man. Good call from him, man. On all points, and good call from him. Let me see if I can find this video. Y'all bear with me. I'm gonna see if I can find this video. I hope I can find it. Hope I can find it. Is it this one? I think it's this one. We might can get it still. Nobody's talking about him, but let me see if I can find this. And here, listen with soft ears. Listen with soft ears. And what's a gem? What's a gem to me is Steve Smith Sr. On his ways of talking. Here you go.
That we're doing. Jimmy Horn Jr. is in my top 15.
Ooh. This was very surprising because, I've been so focused on Travis, right, of Colorado, but I never really paid close attention to Jimmy. When y'all hear his analysis, it's really spot on. And can y'all do me a huge favor? We got 346 likes. We got more likes than viewership right now. If y'all could do me a huge favor, I know we've been live for a long time. We went beyond the algorithm thing, But if y'all can do me one other favor, hit that share button, and we can get things moving and grooving. But before we go any further to this conversation, let's listen again to this analysis on Jimmy.
You seeing the breakdowns that we're doing?
From Steve
Jimmy
Smith.
Horn Jr. is in my top 15.
Ooh.
Why?
Yeah, this is after the showcase. This is
after the
saw
showcase.
firsthand.
He's leapfrogged. He's moved up. Jimmy Horn Jr. did not get a lot of targets because the main focal point of that offense, especially with the bad offensive line play, was Travis Hunter. But Jimmy Horn is smooth. Got some speed to him.
No wasteful
movement. He can
movement.
run. He can catch. Had quiet footwork. No false
Quiet.
steps.
Yeah, you go.
Rolled
Look at
into his routes like you're supposed to run into your routes. His spacing between lead foot and back foot, ideal. No false movement. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, he grab that one.
Looking at his routes in person, moved up. He moved up big time for me. You seeing a
So when he's talking about it in person, right? Let me just break that down. Sometimes when you're looking at tape, it doesn't tell you the entirety of the story. When you're looking at tape, you can already see the focal point. Like, for example, Alvin Harper probably be one of our most underrated wide receivers, but he was so quick, tall, and elusive that it complemented Michael Irvin and as well as Emmett to a T. And sometimes, when we start to think of the Dallas Cowboys to a degree of who we are as far as the team, naturally speaking, technically, the Cowboys always been a run-first team when we were successful, even in the days of Roger Staubach, right? With Tony Dorsett, and shout out to Dwayne Thomas, and all of those boys, right? But when we started doing our historical data on this team, we always had that elusive number 2 wide receiver that can take the distance for your team, that can provide cover for your number 1 wide receiver. And, and we can go on and on about Tony Hill and all of this stuff way back in the days before most of you guys were born. But what I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you look at film and you look at the wide receiver in person, you see the nuances that allow them to shuffle their feet, to get the short areas, to manipulate a route, when to know when to cut it off, when it's an option route, and when to sink down in the hole, and to greet the ball with their hands. So a lot of people, if we miss out on the premium wide receivers, don't be afraid if we fool around and get a Jimmy Horn over here. Or, Alvin could jump. Yeah, he could do all of those things. So when we look at the real picture of who the Cowboys can be and who they are, it's crazy in a good way, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't wait to see how all of this stuff can work its way out. So be sure to understand that if we don't get the kind of caliber of wide receiver we want in the first or the second round, there still could be a Jimmy out there for us that can really help alleviate some things. Not to take away from what we already have out of Jalen Tolbert, Mingo, and Cavante Turpin, but just to add some more insights to these type of things. All right, so with that being said, let me pull up Chill Mo D's draft analysis here on his mock draft. Give me 1 second here. Appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in. If you guys could do me a huge favor, continue to hit that like button. Sharing is caring right now, because that's how we can get this traction going. Okay? All right, so let me pull up Chill Mo D's mock draft. I appreciate you, man, for sending this in, extending the show at least about another 10 to 15 minutes. Emeka Ibuka. Like I said, the last when old boy C sent me his, he had Emeka in the second round. I was like, God dog, and he gave me Ashton Genty. So first and foremost, Chill, you behind a little bit, but neither here nor there. I'm not mad at this one at all. My goodness, I'm still running around. I'm still happy. I ain't going to say we win in Super Bowls, but my goodness.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
Emeka. And then you go with Kenneth Grant. We the Michigan boys, baby. Now, Kenneth Grant, he's going to fight. And he's going to pretty much look at Mozzie and say, hey, this is my world now. Quinshon Judkins. I think that if you bring the element of basically power back, that got shiftiness to him, got a strong frame, oh my goodness, we're going to be brutalizing and getting things going. And then you got Jonah, as offensive lineman, we going to do a lot of pull traps, GT counters, we're going to be running. So that's not a bad move. Devin Neal, very sneaky. Very sneaky. Very sneaky. Before all of this popped off, some people had Devin Neal in front of Quinshon. So I like that. And then you go with Frazier, the cornerback from UTSA. I'm not mad at this at all, bro. But shout out to you, Chill Mo D. Come on with it. Yes, indeed. A lot of you guys saying Alvin Harper was a stud. Yeah, you needed Alvin Harper. You needed that, And we could have been even better. We could have been even better if Michael Irvin didn't get in the way of the Jimmy. Who remember the Jimmy Smith situation? Jimmy Smith worked out for a few days and said, man, I'm gonna get on up out of here and join the expansion team. Love D. Neal in the fifth. Yeah. And Devin Neal may turn out to be one of those super guys for us, man. All right, we got two other callers. I got Rod from the 678. You're live on the nation, brought to you by Frenkel Firm, and then we will have the 386 hold tight. But what you got for me, bro?
Hey, Law, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I can't complain at all, bro.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you were able to talk to John. Enjoyed the show. Listen, looking at some of these mock drafts and everything, just like that last one that you just showed up there about Zach Frazier. I happen to see a couple of his games for UTSA. He is a long DB. I believe he's about 6'1".
Okay.
But he led his conference. I think they're in, I don't know if they're in Conference USA or the American Conference, the AAC. But yeah, he led them in pass breakups and also with interceptions. So he definitely knows how to play the position, and I believe he's been playing that. He's been a starter, I think, 2 of the last 3 years. So he does know how to go. He does play sticky, and he does know how to play in a bump and run situation. I guess I heard earlier that Stephon Gilmore is making a visit today. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's at the Star, so I don't know. If you dare, you're going to talk. Somebody going to run up to you and talk to you. The difference is I don't know if he have any relations with Matt Eberflus or anybody here because there wasn't no carryover, right? We pretty much got a clean slate on defense. Did anybody carry over? Nobody carried over, huh? This is a whole new defense, huh? Yeah. But still, hey, he's a talent, and I would take the talent, basically.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, if we get him in here and everything, yes, that definitely can help out as far as our DBs and everything, while Trayvon Diggs is on his recovery and everything.
Right.
And I feel pretty good about that and everything on that there. I'm still a little, between you and me, I'm still a little bit worried about our safeties.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like with Dono and I forgot the other safety real quick and everything. It escapes my mind for just a second. But I would say this: would you be okay? And you can put this out to the chat and everything as far as with the nation. Say if we didn't have an opportunity to grab one of the receivers or running backs that we wanted to go and get. To see if we wanted to go ahead and get a player like the caliber of Malachi Starks from Georgia.
Right.
Draft him.
In what round? With the 12th pick?
Yeah.
Nah, it's too rich, man, for the 12th pick. You might well trade back just a little bit, and you can still get Malachi. I believe. Let me see where Tankathon got him. You know, and I'm not beating your thoughts tracks on that. They got him going to the 24th pick with the Vikings on Tankathon on their mock draft simulator.
But here's the thing. But he has experience going up against Matthew Golden in 2 games.
Yeah.
The regular season game in Austin, and in the SEC championship game.
Yeah, but right now it will be. I'm not beating the ideology up on that, but I think that we have more now. I know we go with BPA, right? And I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if he's the best player available, but it's just hard for me to see Malachi Starks being the 12th overall pick in this draft.
Okay, like I said, I was just giving that scenario as far as just in case if our options were unfortunately whittled down, because you gotta expect the unexpected in the draft.
It's the unknown.
There's always been an unexpected scenario where a team come up from the later picks in the first round, move up into the top 10. It always seems to happen every single year that type of scenario happens.
Right.
I know, like I said, again, Malachi Starks was a reach and everything, and I get that.
Right.
I'm just saying, you gotta expect the unexpected.
No doubt, man. You right on the money, man. I appreciate you, man. I thank you so much for calling in, bro. Appreciate you.
Oh, no problem, Law.
No doubt.
Doing what you're doing, sir. You're doing great work. You're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
He's got you in this position to do this. Stay humble, stay blessed, stay strong.
No doubt. That's my guy Rod Cowboys, man, and the other guy he departed. But at the end of the day, let's get this show on the way. But I appreciate y'all for calling in and being part of this marathon type of show. Now, if we offended anyone, charge it to my beard, And I get it, man. A lot of people gonna send me clips of the other guys that's talking about stuff and things of that nature that's not pertaining to football. But at the end of the day, I do embrace it all, right? The very much so thing is the Cowboys is who we love more than anything right now, right? And Law Nation, you should try Draft Sim, fam. Yeah. I think I used that draft simulator before, and it's real good. Not a lot of ads everywhere, and not a lot of force clickable things that you got to click on to get to it. But I definitely will try out that draft simulator. Smoke one for you. This was a great show, man. Let's put put some ones in the chat if y'all like the show today, man. Let's put some ones in the chat if y'all like the show today. And if everything kind of worked out, I want to give shots out to those who supported this channel, those who sharing the content. I do like to pay some type of reverence to those who understand that at the end of the day, we're having fun here, no shots taken at anyone, right, that don't deserve it, right? And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, what we want ultimately is to have this type of love and adulations, like my guy right here, always bringing this type of love.
Law Nation, thank you very much and love you. God bless. And God bless the whole Cowboys organization. And God bless Micah Parsons. Let's do big things this year. Let's go Cowboys!
Okay, my name's Daryl Schapp. I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan and a huge Micah Parsons fan and a huge Dak fan. And I'm a huge fan of the Dallas Cowboys. Go Cowboys! We them boys! Go Micah Parsons! Sack that quarterback 5 times today! Kick his butt! Let's go, Law Nation! Let's go, Cowboys! Yeah!
They say ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Tell me not in mournful numbers. Life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, and life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust I are, to dust return, wasn't even spoken to the soul. In this broad fields of battle and bivouacs of life, be not, and I mean just that, be not like a dumb driven cattle, but be a hero in the strife. Lives of great men all remind us that we can live our lives sublime. In departing, leave behind us footprints on the mighty hands and the sands of time. And as we travel this journey of life, there will be those that will walk with you for a mile, but then there will be those who will walk twine, meaning that they will go the double distance. You know everything about a person when you're in the low down and the darkness. As they say, these things are true. Yea, do all go through the valley of the shadow of darkness. It don't say, yea, do I stay. And we're going to continue to move forward and press forward. There will be those who shank you in the back with a butter knife. There will be those who will utilize and use your kindness and rip it apart for their own journey, and say to themselves and to everyone, these are the things I've done on their own merit, but not knowing who handed them the keys. I would tell all of you all that's here under the sound of my voice, are we signing Stephon Gill, Eric? I don't know. There's a certain content creator who said, let Law know that I got the bodies. I know the deeper, darker secrets. And if he want to call me names, then he said that he better not let my wife know, But verily, verily, I say unto thee, you got to understand what law stands for. With pure tenacity, Always been a ladies' man, by the way. But you know what LAW stands for? It's like Hakuna Matata, no worries. Because when you lay down the law, it stands for long ass wood. I have no problems with that department. Neither does she. So you need to worry about fixing yours before you try to unleash on the law. Because I have been the same. Real, raw, and uncut from day one, baby. There will be many that imitate and duplicate and try to do those things. But there's only one law. And that's LAW. And no one is above the law. And write this down. And put LAW in the chat. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night to give up your time and your peace and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, and plan for it, and lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold or the property, or the famish of fame, or the sickness of body or brain can turn you away from the things you want, if dogged and grim, and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation. My God Zen says now, you did AOC dirty, but verily, verily, I say unto thee, for those who thinking that I did anyone dirty, and I did anything bad, yes, indeed. It was me that put you on the screen, baby. It was me that gave those headsets to everybody, and nobody gave me a dime for it, and they $300 a piece. And come on with it. Let's not talk about the $6,000 camera that we use at all of my events. So look, the reality of it is that Law Nation been given more than he should. And on the time of all of that, whoever gave something to Law? Whoever gave something for me? I need to know. I want to know who gave me something. But I'm going to tell y'all, we are about that life. And at the end of the day,
I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Lost in Translation says, yeah, throw them in the glory hole. Come on with it.
Got nothing but love for you, baby.
Nothing but love. I ain't mad at no one. Because at the end of the day, it's all about these Dallas Cowboys. It's my last time talking on all of this. Let's get it, baby. And they better, they better leave me alone. I got a pocket full of energy, you know. And the clips loaded with all receipts. Law Nation. Come on. Tell them run it up, baby. Stretch. Shout out to you, Angie. Shout out to Hallelujah. Appreciate you. And if anybody offended, charge it to my beard, not my heart. Yeah. So crying on top of all that crying over there. Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. Come on with it. Don't zone me, baby. McGrady. Can't call me lazy. I need 6 rings like MJ. Law Nation, baby, let's get it. Law Nation. Come on with it. Shout out to you, iRock. NJ, the Rebel Chicks. Appreciate you. Below the Heavens. Rodriguez. Holly. Josh Blaze, JC, my guy, Cowboys Network. Yeah, Law still was on the collective yesterday after all of that foolishness. Yes, indeed. Come on with it. And remember,
those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they getting buried.
Come on.
Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that
shout out to you, Gina.
I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the
oh, my girl, Lisa. Friday is her birthday. Shout out to you, Lisa. Come on with it. Come on. Run it up. Boy, y'all get ready to sing happy birthday to Lisa. Come on with it. Come on with it. Appreciate everybody for jumping in and being part of these type of episodes. Let's do one of our long outros. Let's go with okay. Come on with it. Shout out to you, Kevin Turner, and Jay, CJ, appreciate you. Pete, appreciate you. Have a great day. CJ, the original. Salute. One love to you. Come on with it. Give Lisa a great draft, baby. Come on with it. Yeah. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah. Either way.
I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. To the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find no better one. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find no better one. Ooh, susceptible now before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah, and nothing can stop me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Either way, I follow. All of it. No need to say. Wasting my time, come on. Where we are heading now, babe. Nobody. I follow to the edge of it all. Take some money out. So tell me good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell me good lies.
Come on.
'Cause I'll find a better one. Susceptible now before the moment flies.
Give me my thing, you.
Until next time, DC for life. Appreciate you for the stars. Miss IV2, appreciate you. Or subscribing, appreciate you. Come on with it. My cigarette, baby, I'll breathe you in. Yeah.
Take a bite
let the street lights hit you. Did y'all have to put anybody into contempt of court today? Let me know. Whatever you do, play it too. Come on.
7 years of a perfect love. 7 more and another one.
And another one.
And another one. Finding you was the one I lost. 7 wonders all in one. All in one. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone.
Thank you, baby.
You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Could I be on? Play it too.
I follow wherever you go, whatever you do, play it too.
If a paper crane
Until next time.
then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. That's where we if a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Hey, these are funny as hell, man. Let me get on up out of here, man. And put y'all meaty hands away, man.
We about that life.
The boy said meaty hands. All right, man. Let's get on up out of here, man. DC for life, not for short.
It's an evil world we live in.
One love. Until next time.
Ain't nobody
Go Lakers. Yeah, I see you.
texting me, paging me, asking me, are you still involved? Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still involved? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still involved.
We about. One love. Peace.
I'm still involved.
There we go.
Oh, I'm still involved. I'm still involved.
And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. And they understand the cost.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Until next time.
Now y'all don't want to call and check.